Are you ready to watch some magic? I'm going to welcome on stage my co-host here for today, Thoralf. Let's hear it for Thoralf. Come on, everyone. Woo! Okay, so you can sit here. Great. You might find in your seat a bingo card. Does everyone have a bingo card? Okay, great. So how is this going to work? This is a bingo card by our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. So you have to pay attention and do not miss a square. You can shout bingo when you check off 5 squares in a row. It can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. You can, after this, come to the Ultimate Guard booth if you cross a bingo and collect a prize. So everyone's squares are in different orders. Now, there's one thing. There's a lot of cards there that are not in the top 4. That's because birds exist. So what are we going to do about that, Thoralf?
Yeah, so because the top 4 is only Nadu, well, there's no Omnath, so you can't really cross off the Omnath thing, but we do a little experiment. Every card, everything you see on the card itself says Nadu. If there's Omnath, imagine it's Nadu. If it says any creature type or anything, just pretend it somehow makes any of the deck work. Will not be strict about it, so you can cross off what you think is correct.
So, one more thing. As you saw here, we have a lot of prizes that we are going to give away during this stream. So, stay tuned. From the beginning to end, we have a lot of things to give away. And one person that loves to give away things, and it's here to join us now. Please hear it for Andrea Mengucci. Come on, everyone.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So excited to watch 2 mirror match of Nadu.
Yay!
Yeah. But, you know, that might not be that exciting, but, you know, man, this is very heavy.
It is.
And it's going to be empty at the end of this show. So make sure you stay tuned so you can get some of these.
Yeah, so make sure if you're not on the meta stage to head over here. We have a lot of things to give away. It's going to be very excited. So you might have seen here on the meta stage during the weekend the Ultimate Guard trailer that shows upcoming Blue Borrow set available for pre-order at your local game store. And Ultimate Guard is also starting a new licensing partner for Magic the Gathering. So they are the sponsor here for today, and actually very fitting because 3 of the players are on Ultimate Guard teams that made it into the top 4. Simon Nielson on Team Handshake Ultimate Guard, Ilika Sees as well, and Sam Pardee on your team, Channel Fireball Ultimate Guard, right?
And the 4th one is?
It's Daniel, which is also playing 4 colors Nadu.
Okay, okay.
But actually not playing band. So what's the difference here between these 2?
So Daniel is playing Splashing Black for Thoughtseize and Orcish Bowmaster. Orcish Bowmaster not only just fantastic magic card that, you know, most people know at this point, it also helps you actually winning the game with the loop. You may know that that deck loops in various ways, and one of the ways is also with Orcish Bowmaster, so you don't have to play Thassa's Oracle, for example.
That's great. So now we are ready. Let's put our games on the stage so we can all see in the big screens. You can see it. We will be commenting on it, giving away things. So we can start watching that soon. I think we can start seeing what teams we have, right? Giving away some things, Mango.
Yeah, I figured that we would start giving out something just to make people know what's going on here. If you're playing out in the free-to-play area, you may want to come up and see what's going on. All right, what do I have here? We have some Murders at Karlov Manor booster that have been handed. And then we have 1 Ravnica Remaster Collector booster.
Oh, you
this
got
is
a
just
lot of
wizards opening treasures and just finding stuff.
Well, I mean, it's wizards. They can just hand out.
Yeah.
So can we go down?
All right, let's go.
Oh, there's
You can jump.
Yeah. Dunk, 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 dunk. So who wants a booster?
Woo!
All right, here you go.
A good one.
We'll have a box full of many boosters.
Thank you so much.
If you don't get any, whee! Here for you. We have way more, but you have to wait, or at least watch some magic. Oh no.
We'll have more. We'll have more. We'll go back. Don't worry.
I know, it's tough.
We'll make sure we go in the back as well later on.
All right.
Okay, so we have the games going on. Who's playing?
So right now, I think we should move
Yeah.
because we have to see the screens. So let's move to this
Sam
direction.
Pardee is already up 2-1. And there's a lot of Shuko action going on.
Andrea, join us.
You're on the other side? All right.
We
No,
can
I just
go-
want to stay. I like to stay. No.
It's fine. Yeah. You can go where the Italian Euro team is.
Where?
Well,
Oh, the
Where is it?
banner starts.
Did Germany win?
yes. Very convincingly, I might add.
I know Portugal is still on, but I don't even know if they are winning, so I hope so.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Ooh, somebody is going off here. And by somebody, I mean
Sam Pardee.
Sam Pardee, and Elikasi says no lands in it. But Sam only goes off with only one creature, and that's usually not enough. You have to be pretty lucky to win off of one creature. So he passes the turn after drawing a couple of cards, and Elikasi's, see what he draws. If it's a Nadu, you get to win. It's Force of Vigor.
So that's
Okay.
a good start.
Well, he doesn't win, but he gets to kill those two Shuko. And Sam, does he have a way to... No, actually, he doesn't have a third Shuko. So we may actually have a game here.
And Sam just needs to win this one, right? And if he does, he passes on to our finals.
Yes. And Ilikasis has a powerful land in hand, Shifting Woodland. When that card came out, I thought it was going to just be so powerful. It's, I was so high on that card. I thought it would be, very good in various formats. It combos with Dark Depths. Obviously, Dark Depths is banned in Modern, but...
Here we see it actually doing something.
All right. What's he coping?
Because there's Delirium.
Oh, he needed an instant to get Delirium.
Yes, and now he has another and he goes off, but he has two creatures. So how does that work? Well, you have a Shoku that equips for 0, and here an improvised Nadu with the land, that whenever something is targeted, you draw a card.
Yeah, so it's so cool that Shifting Woodland is actually winning Ilikasi's game because, that's kind of a free roll land. It's a forest, comes into play untapped most of the times, and just randomly becomes the best card in your graveyard.
Oh, there we saw another combo piece, I think.
Is that, Nantuko?
The Spring Heart Nantuko, yes. So once that is out, the loop becomes infinitely more likely because whenever a land enters the battlefield, you do get a 1/1 token, and that means you can repeat that process twice
There it
again.
is. And there it is. That's the land. That's the land Ilikasi's needed.
So we directly join in game 5, basically. Woo!
Except it's gonna take a while to finish.
You want to give out more boosters?
I'm gonna give some water. No,
Ah.
I just had a long match now at the PTQ.
Yeah, Andrea, why are you
And I
here?
lost to Blood Moon. The
Oh.
third Blood Moon. Sucks. I hate Blood Moon. No, it's not true.
The third Blood Moon always gets you.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that at the PT, I played Nadu.
Yes.
And I lost to Blood Moon 3 times. So I feel like Blood Moon is just the bane of my weekend today. This weekend.
So how likely is it from now on that Ely doesn't win the game?
Well, so he's gonna play Nantuko, and he's gonna equip Nantuko twice. If he finds a land, well, then he has 2 more shots. But if the Nantuko gives him 2 spells, then he has to pass the turn. And so it feels like he's playing land for turn, and then he's gonna play the Nantuko, and we're gonna see what happens. So again, Nantuko, Halfling, Shuko. That's Cassie's hand.
So Ely needs to hit 1 land in the next 2 cards to keep going, because every land means there's a creature entering the battlefield again, meaning it's another 2 triggers. So
Let's see.
you kind of have,
Oh,
that's
that
even
it
2
is.
lands.
Fetch land.
Now 80% went up to 95.
Yeah, now... Yeah, I wish this was Splinter Twin, so the game would be over. That it's not, and you actually have to keep on
You have to work for your wins.
keep on going.
Oh, another Nadu. Now this is also a trick because Nadu only references the text on the card itself. If you play a second Nadu, the ability resets, so it means you can do it for all creatures again, and that basically means you're done, right? So any 3 lands will win the game.
Yeah, that summoner spot can give Cassis a second Nantuko if he wants, but it doesn't look like he can. Oh, there it is. He drew naturally. So he can now cast maybe a second Nantuko, so he just locks the game up.
So I'm not gonna lie, Ely is one of my favorite players on earth because he has such a good vibe. He's an awesome human being, but also there's no player that plays as chill. Look at this, like, if you know his voice, he's also talking, and then you do like, I'm gonna do this and that. In this modern age,
Do we have anything on the bingo that this match crossed?
I don't think we have yet. I mean, if you replace with Nadu, we might have. Did anyone cross any bingo yet? Oh, they are on their way. Don't forget, once you are done with a bingo, you can shout at bingo if you have an horizontal, vertical, or
What do they
diagonal.
get? What do they get?
They go to Ultimate Guard booth and redeem a prize after this.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's really nice.
Look at this. You know, it's also cool, the fact that coverage just cuts immediately to the next match and you don't have to wait them to
magic,
shuffle.
magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that as well. And I love when we have to see all 5 games, right? That's much more interesting here, especially before a final.
So you played the deck.
I played Nadu, yes.
You played probably and tested a lot of mirrors.
Yes.
How important is a starting hand without a 1-drop, and what makes you not want to have it?
Well, so Semperdi now has a Urza Saga. Urza Saga turn 1 gives you a Shuko turn 3, and with the Nadu in hand, it's already going off. So if Cassis doesn't have Force of Vigor, Dismember, or whatever piece of interaction he plays, Sam goes off on turn 3.
Right.
So even if he doesn't have a turn 1 mana dork, he can, win the game on turn 3.
So that means, because we know Ely only has a Haywire Might in hand, that's the only piece of interaction that relevantly does anything. If Ely doesn't play the Haywire Might, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, but he's gonna play it because he's such a great card now. Where might kill Urza Saga. That's actually you're stealing the play right now. You're on the play all of a sudden.
And gain 2 life.
Oh,
Oh, already?
what did you do?
What did
bingo?
you do? A bingo?
Ooh,
Okay.
Then go to Ultimate Guard and redeem your prize.
Yeah, what did you get?
Wait, come here.
Come here, come here, join us. It's
Don't be
easier.
shy, don't
A
be
round of
shy.
applause for our first bingo of the day. Come on.
We're all about fact checking. We want to say what we said.
All right. Well, you guys said be loose with it, so player wins with.
An infinite combo, yeah, including Nadu, that's correct.
So Tron deck assembles Urza lands. I think that could be Nadu assembling. all
Absolutely, we count that.
a Nadu deck wins with Amulet Titan, Primeval Titan, and Amulet Vigor. So I guess that's all 3.
It's
of them.
Nadu, okay.
A player wins with Living End, cycling at least 5 creatures per turn. He drew around 5 cards.
So basically, you just say all of the. So they are randomly generated. So it's not that they all end up in line, but for you, all the combo decks ended up in line. So
Yeah,
you could
pretty much,
cross
yeah.
all of them off.
And then
Player cast Ephemerate. Yeah, that's basically Shoku for Nadu.
Well, for this one is cast Expression Determination to gain significant card advantage. He cast Nadu to gain significant card advantage, drawing 5 cards.
Do we give it to him?
Does it count? Yeah, okay.
Good luck.
Wait.
Congratulations. Go to the guard, get your
Love the
prize.
channel.
Thank you.
Wait, since you were the first one, here's a prize for you
Oh,
as
it
well.
gives an extra prize? Jesus. Rich to richer.
Yeah. All right.
What did you
Another
miss,
bingo?
Mango?
Another bingo over there. All right, just join him too later or whatever. But here there was a very cool play. Elikasis, instead of just going Awar Might kill your Saga, went Wall of Roots, Awar Might in your upkeep kill Saga. So like Wall of Roots just was free basically, costed 0 mana.
Yeah, because you can only do it once per turn, you can do it in your turn and your opponent's turn as well. That basically leads to 2 mana, but also in the future more mana. Wall of Roots is such a crazy card.
Yeah, I love it. It's been playing it forever, and
Forever.
it's such a great card.
Mirage in 1996. All right, both of the players have it. Semperdi has Nadu in play. What does Cassis have? Well, he doesn't have the combo, so the game is on a stall right now.
So Card of Calling, because of the way the decks are built, can also start the combo with the core Outrider.
Yes, that's true. Next turn, actually, Sam has a Core for 3 available to him.
So that means Eileen needs to put up another form of defense, or it might get dicey depending on what the top of the deck reveals.
Yeah, Handy doesn't have it. Like, he just... If Sam goes for it, I believe...
But there at least then 6 triggers,
Yeah.
probably 4. depending on if the outrider can target itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you have 6 triggers and go from there. It's not definite, but eventually you know this kind of Kraken Ironworks thing that you're doing a lot of stuff and it gets closer and closer and closer and eventually you're saying like, yeah, that's too much.
I think we need to change the expression "always bolt the bird" because I don't think we
Oh, you have
can
to bolt
anymore.
Nadu. No, you can't. Nadu is a bird. You have to get rid of it, right? The problem is you can't bolt it because
Exactly.
it's too big, but also they get a bunch of cards if you try.
I want to shout out a play that my friend Marco Del Pivo made yesterday at the PT. He Nantuko bestowed his own Nadu,
Yes.
and the opponent went to kill it with a dismember. He flipped from the top a land, and then copied the Nadu.
Copy the Nadu, so you keep, well, the other
And then
legendary
he just
copy.
won the game after.
Pretty
the-
cool.
with the copy. So.
Yeah, the Nantuko has
was it.
so many crazy interactions. We saw, well, I saw, maybe you did, in the quarterfinals, it was bestowed on a Dryad Arbor. So that means you can make a lot of lands all over again. It's kind of like a sprout worm, like at home, only it's much better because you only need 2 mana.
It's
Crazy.
such a great
And
card.
let's see that Sam wasn't even dying to Shuko here to the combo because he had Boseju up with Nadu discounting and Wall of Roots producing a mana. So yeah, let's see if Sam goes for it. He may even cast a Wall of Roots, which is free.
There isn't really anything like speaking against that, right? Because
Eh,
you're relying on 2 creatures.
yeah, dismember, I guess. I don't know
What
if.
What
Member?
Eli could do, and this is
Plays it.
one of the most disruptive things, is if Eli had a court, the whole thing would get kind of fizzled because of the Volatile Drake.
Yeah.
And then stealing Nadu would basically just handing the game over to Eli. So that is the one thing Sam Brady has to be afraid of.
And by the way, Sam is doing so well. Like I feel like we always see him doing these
Oh, yeah.
plates.
The group of Sam Pardy, Simon Nielson, Javier, they're kind of miles ahead of everybody right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, so the combo is here. We have 8 triggers, so yeah, it's going to be very hard
Yeah.
to fizzle at this point.
The deck plays about 33% land, so that means every hit guarantees a third of a mana, 2 mana plus 4 cards. Here we see
Whoa.
3 mana. Any other creature guarantees 2 more flips. The Haywire Might is 2 more actions. If there's ever any Nantuko, or even Court of Calling for that now, it's going to be tough.
And also there's Dryad Arbor, which can be fetched. In fact, in those cases, I like to fetch first, just in case you reveal Dryad Arbor, but you know. Now we see Nantuko, so the game is over.
Yeah, and Eli knows.
Good game here. Let's hear it.
All right, Semparty advances to the final.
That's
Crazy.
great.
Yeah.
But we
that's-
still have one more.
We have one more mirror match to watch, and that's the one between Daniel Goschel from Canada versus Simon Nielsen from Denmark.
So you probably tested maybe with the 4-color version a little. What in this matchup has the advantage? Like, what does black give you in the interaction form?
Well, Thoughtseize is a very good piece of interaction, both because you can discard your opponent removal spell or because you can discard your opponent enabler. But of course, the Nadu deck is so redundant with so many pieces of both of the combo. So, you know, it may still go either way. My Daniel Goschel beat Marco Del Pivo, my friend and teammate yesterday in the win and in. So, you know, I still got a little bit burned about that. So I don't know that you didn't ask, but I'm rooting for Simon Nielsen here. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm biased. Are you rooting for Simon Nielsen?
So, because there's right now, yeah, who's for Simon?
Anyone for Daniel? Come on, also some support for Daniel. Playing the only 4 colors.
So here's what we're gonna do. Maybe one of you know, some of you know, it's actually Simon's birthday today.
Wow, I
So
didn't
he
know that.
could win on his birthday, which may only adds. We are all here. He's not, but he might have. We start a video and we all now sing happy birthday for Simon Nielsen.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Oh, we skipped
you were-
Happy birthday, dear Simon. Happy birthday, Nadu.
Oh, woo, yeah. But that's gonna be sent. I think that must be the most people.
Yeah. Make sure you cut the first part where you.
Where we have,
The video just starts with already asking happy birthday. And not asking him, singing happy birthday.
It's fine, the half counts.
And I think before we go to our next match, we should give some
Yes, give
away.
some
What do you
boosters.
think? Come on, do you want some boosters?
All right. Oh, you ended me a lot of collector booster this time.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to give away, so stay until the end because... Yay!
You get the backpack. Okay, fair enough.
You can come here
All right,
and we'll
You
give
have to
you
stay
back.
until the end.
Let's go to the people here. Did you get a booster already? Yes. All right,
All right.
there you go. Oh,
Oh, great.
okay,
Thank you.
here.
Perfect.
Sorry. Oh, I was me here. Whee, whee.
Like
Okay, let's
collectorino
give it
qua
up.
giù.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, this is like no. We'll have more boosters. Yes. You. Oh, sorry. You get one and a half.
Hey, we'll give
more.
more, everyone.
Whee. Oh. That's very. And you. All right. We have more. We have a box. We have some products.
Bowmaster, 1 Thoughtseize with 2 more in the side, and also Fatal Push. Of course, Fatal Push is going to be very important in this match. Oh, it does have Thassa's Oracle. Cool.
So also one of the things that is quite different, and you remember that maybe from Kraken Ironworks or other combo decks are very needy because you need parts that interact with each other, right? If you go, for example, with Splinter Twin, you have 2 creatures, sometimes you have even more pieces. The whole deck is made to either find the things or let you win through the things. And then it becomes an evolution. How can we streamline the deck? So the deck started obviously with Thassa's Oracle because, well, you need to win. And what's the easiest way to win? You draw your deck and then play Thassa's Oracle. But then it becomes better because how can we win without playing, well, the bad cards that make us win? And that's exactly where it divides in where the deck lists 50%. I think played Path's Oracle, didn't play it. We don't actually need the Oracle, and that's where all the convolute loops come in because, well, if we just draw and put our deck into play anyway, we can just make do with what we have, and then people find the craziest loops. I think
Yeah.
it's in
I have learned them
drawing.
all. I have learned them all.
Okay. What is loop number 49?
So I guess we have nothing to do for a few minutes, so I can explain. I think the coolest loop is Infinite Life, which I learned pretty late into deck selection. So basically, you can achieve Infinite Life. Well, let's start with the first loop, which is the most important one.
How you win.
You need it. It's infinite mana.
Yes.
All right, so you empty your deck by putting everything into play, lands in play, spells in hand.
Yes.
Then you also empty your graveyard by going Endurance, Evoked, shuffle itself to the deck, and then once again, so all the chaff that you have in the graveyard from the beginning go back into the deck, and then you draw it all.
So your starting position is 0 cards in library, 0 cards in graveyard.
Graveyards, exactly. Then you put Sylvan Safekeeper into play if you have it in your hand.
Yes.
And now, what you do is you float all the mana. You have Yavimaya, so even the fetch lands give you green mana. You sacrifice it to the Sylvan Safekeeper, which has Shroud, so it's important that you respond to your own trigger so that you can target the same thing. Not that it matters, because you have a lot of tokens anyway, but... So now you have a lot of money in your pool, 0 lands. Now you bestow Endurance, which is very, very important to do. I guess that should have been the first thing to do. I don't know why. I must have missed that in this moment.
You bestow the Nantuku on Endurance.
Yeah, exactly. So that whenever you put a land into play, you copy Endurance. So with 1 Endurance ability on the stack, you then pay the mana and you shuffle back those lands from the graveyard to your deck.
Right.
And then you put them all into play. And before the last one comes back into play, you copy Endurance once again. You sacrifice your land, and then you go. And now you have infinite mana. So you make sure that your opponent, and you, I guess, understand the loop to get infinite mana. At this point, there's a super cool one with Aware Might and Urza Saga. You kill your own Urza Saga with Aware Might, and then you sacrifice Urza Saga to Sylvan Safekeeper ability. At this point, you gain 2 life, and your graveyard is Urza Saga and Aware Might. Now, once again, you have to hold the landfall triggers somehow. So, for example, leaving one land into your deck. You use Nadu for the last time. You trigger the Endurance bestowed, and then you make a copy. Now Endurance works, and you put back the Aware Might and Urza Saga to your deck. and then you Nadu and flip. If it's Urza Saga, the first one you flip, you need to sacrifice it once again and pay the endurance and put it back. Because the first one you have to draw is always a War Might. You play War Might and then you go on.
Yes.
And you gain life, sacrificing the Urza Saga over and over, and that's how you achieve infinite life. And of course, infinite token, infinite mana. But Tassa's Oracle is certainly the most and the easiest way to win the game.
Yeah, and Mengu, you were on a testing team, right? So for some time you were testing all in a house together. How important is that? Because we see the teams doing well and a lot of the teams making it good results here in the Pro Tour. How many time do you spend testing? What is a day like in a testing house?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, my team, Team Worldly Council, we decided to not stay here in Amsterdam, but we did a testing house in Lisbon.
I mean, I'm biased, but great.
I know since where have you lived in Portugal? In Lisbon?
Everywhere in Portugal, almost.
Okay, okay.
So you start with the pool.
Yeah, you start with a pool in a summer city like Lisbon. No, but outside of that, we had like a huge house, over 20 people. We had infinite boxes, infinite product. We just drafted a lot, make sure that we knew every archetype, every color combination. We analyzed the drafts. Whoever won was kind of like showing his deck. Whoever lost was showing his deck and asking how to improve. So it's very important, the critical, constructed criticism that you do to yourself and to other people, because everybody, that's how you get better, by other people telling you how to improve. And then of course it's testing the constructed the game. So the deck I was high on, and the deck that I was very close to play, it's actually the one that two people brought in this tournament. It's Mono Black Necro. I see that Noah Ma and Seth Manfield unfortunately lost in the top 8, but we're playing Mono Black, and that was a deck that I thought it was quote-unquote broken whenever Necro just draws so many cards. At the end, lost a little bit too much to Nadu, as these two players did in the top 8, and decided to change to Nadu. But yeah, so definitely very important in the testing house, and last year I did one with you in Minneapolis.
Yeah, the reason why the people are there always over again is obviously they play great Magic, but they make mistakes, they have some misconceptions about like what the deck is with Magic. But if you put 10 of them into a room, the chances of being wrong is that much more unlikely, that it comes down to you bring always what is the best deck, close to this deck, you have good ideas, delimited, what are your backup plans. So that means you're erasing a lot of factors that other people don't have the chance to do. You play optimized, you know lines, you've experienced, hey, somebody's like, hey, did you know this trick with this in limited? Like, if you open a Necro Dominance, you can build a mono black limited deck. That's actually very good, where others maybe didn't have the time, or even like not the option of seeing that in the draft. So you multiply all your skill by your team members, and it's just so important, because then you can unfold your true potential.
That makes total sense. And there's a funny thing I saw. I think it was on Twitter that we saw Ilikasis obviously doing here the top 8. Wasn't it him that posted a fake list that he was going to bring and said that he broke it? was
We
him,
broke
right?
it. So we broke it is a term that always comes up, and it used as a joke or as a taunt or something. I haven't seen anybody break it in many years.
And when you see this list, how much of your testing house is like, okay, we have to check this out, or are you just like,
Right.
oh, it's a joke?
Yeah.
I feel like at this point it's really hard with nowadays internet and just all the magical events happening so often to actually discover something very new. Like, sure, you may have Ken Yukuhiro bring a Mardu Energy deck at a tournament, or some extreme deck that you haven't seen before, but it's never gonna be like the back in the days.
Yeah,
where-
I brought something, a combo deck or something that you have never heard of,
Yeah.
because you only played literally at your kitchen table with your brother and or siblings, and you didn't have any group, and then you brought Necropotence for back then to the reference,
Yeah.
and people were wow.
Yeah, I would say that Nadu was a well-known factor in this tournament. Everyone tested a lot against it. Everyone, yeah, just.
So at that point, your goal becomes either knowing this is the best deck, what can we do to improve the deck list against A, what the same deck others are bringing, and B, what we think they will bring to defeat Nadu, and then figure out, does that work? For example, back 2003, when there was Affinity, we tried beating Affinity, and I played a deck that had literally only cards that said destroy an artifact, March of the Machines that destroy all lands, anything, and I couldn't get anything over 50%. And at that point, you know, we have to play the best deck, which was Affinity, obviously. Or you find, okay, people have what is the best deck, but you can build a deck, and that's what Javier did. He built a Jessica control deck, which is very good against Nadu, and then goes with that because, you know, many people will bring Nadu.
That's great. Looks like we have here our other semi-final starting, Daniel versus Simon. And surprisingly, they're playing Nadu.
Yes.
Yeah, so you said about the Jeskai Control bringing it to beat Nadu. Although, when these two people showed their past matches,
Ooh, look at that.
all of them, they play against Jeskai a lot, and they always won against Jeskai. And Simon won against Jeskai in the top 8 against Javier.
Simon won.
I don't know. And I played Jeskai at the PDQ there. Unfortunately, I didn't play against any Nadu, but that was the goal. But, you know.
So tell us about the trick of bestowing on your opponent's creatures.
Yeah, so Nantuko has 2 modes. One is to cast a 2-mana 1/1, and one is to enchant a creature. If you cast a 2-mana 1/1, well, it dies to Orcish Bowmaster. So Simon is protecting his own Nantuko by putting on the opponent creature, so that if Daniel has to, in order for Daniel to kill Nantuko, he has to like fatal push his Halfling and then Bowmaster the Nantuko. So.
Yeah. So what he's basically saying is, we know this matchup doesn't go to damage. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter if your opponent has a +1/+1 on their creature. A, they're not going to attack with a mana elf, and B, well, we're comboing off. We know that for sure. So he wants the tokens, and eventually maybe even the halfling.
Yeah. So now Simon's gonna get 2 tokens because of that play he just made, the turn 2 bestow your halfling play, and he's gonna go for it. I foresee a Nadu on the horizon.
Yeah, and this is important because if you don't have the complete combo of the 3 pieces you need, the amount of creatures you have matter because every one of those creatures equals 2 triggers, as we see now, and that means you have, because of the 2 extra creatures, 4 more triggers, way more likelihood to find one of the Nantukos, and therefore winning the game, and that's just a perfect optimization that maybe other people wouldn't know.
Yeah, and you said, Mangu, you played this deck in the Pro Tour, right? Is it like a deck that has a lot of decision lines, as you said? How important is to master this deck? Oh, we have another bingo.
Very good.
What happened? What happened the last one? Okay. Nice.
A lot of Nadu.
That's true. You can go to the Ultimate Guard booth and get
Get your prize.
your
Yeah,
prize.
you can get it now, you can get it in the end, whatever you prefer.
Go now before they finish.
Go now
I don't
and
know.
show us what you got so other people know what they're getting. Go now, get your prize, and then tell us what you got.
Yeah, hopefully they give you something good.
All right, so it looks like Daniel got these. What's that?
Oh, a flip
Oh,
tray,
deck box,
nice.
nice.
I love
It matches
it.
your jacket.
Great, that's a great price. I love
And
it.
look at that. Daniel did have the Orcish Bowmaster, so it was indeed very important to learn this play to bestow the Nantuko. So Simon is going off, as he does with the Time Spiral Forests. For those of you who don't know, Simon only plays Time Spiral basic lands.
Yeah, one of those things, because of you bestowed on your creature, you actively also gained 2 mana because in a turn, well, you could play it, but it could die to Bowmaster. You're protecting it and using the mana. Perfect play.
Ooh, let's look at another interesting card. That's Pendelhaven. That's another way to trigger Nadu. You can just pump your own 1/1 and you trigger Nadu if you don't have the combo going on.
There are just so many ways to trigger Nadu, right? It's
Yeah,
a very difficult card to deal with.
Someone is playing Okina. That's another Kamigawa land.
Oh, the gives a legendary +1/+1
Yeah.
counter?
You can
Yes.
pump Nadu.
Yeah, or the one, like the good one that whenever land enters the battlefield, you put a counter on a creature that basically also adds to the loop. It's,
Yes, Bristlebill.
yes, Bristlebill.
Yeah.
Also legendary, can't be countered if you have the halfling.
Simon, once again, with the turn 1 saga, a play that we were only used to see from the Amulet Titan deck, but now we actually see it a lot, not just by this deck, but also Tron sometimes goes turn 1 saga, because they have access to Yugin's Labyrinth now, so they can make Construct as early as turn 2 now.
And how important is the play draw in these mirror matches?
Super important.
Enormous.
I mean, it's just magic now, like... Yeah,
Like
being on
here-
the play, especially with a deck with Mana Dork.
Also, the people, because the first seed was mono black and that lost, the second seed got so much more happier because now like they can't target, like get that matchup anymore. So obviously you're playing a turn 3 combo deck, being on the play with, I don't think not that much interaction. I mean, Daniel has the most interaction out of all of them. It's enormous.
And how important is the sideboarding part of these games? Because now they will be starting to sideboard.
Yeah, we can take a look at the list. I mean,
I'm going to give you
we'll,
here for Daniel.
we will see it again about after this game because
Yeah.
of course best of 5, the top 8. You play 2 games that are pre-sideboarded, and then you play post-sideboard. So now there's still no Force of Vigor, no. I don't know what Simon has. I can check, but it's gonna be probably some. I had this member, but they don't have this member.
What member?
This member. Oh, one. They have one this
Which,
member.
yeah. So I know that they play Volatile Drake, right? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's.
Ely played that. Maybe Simon doesn't play it.
Not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another bingo. Go get your prize and then come here to show us what you got.
Yeah,
The ultimate guard boot.
Volatile Storm Drake is in sideboard.
You can go together.
Let's focus on the game and then talk about the sideboard after
Yeah.
this.
What if we focus on the bingo?
Bingo.
Bingo.
All right, what's happening now? Simon just played a bunch of mana, but does Daniel have it? Because once again, we're playing actually, it's not the most exciting Magic game of ever, but it's just, all right, he has the big bird with a long back.
And the Court of Calling that, as we saw, can get Core Outrider. And that's
Oh, he just showed a hand.
just some triggers, you know?
Showed a hand there, yeah. But Simon says, go for it. I enjoy watching my opponent combo off.
The good part is, at this point, both people know their deck, obviously very well. So you're kind of following already what your opponent is doing. And there's not this, oh, can you explain this to me? Like, how does this work? I don't know, I don't get it. And they can go to a fast pace. They know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Simon just says, yeah, that's your game. Exactly.
All right.
What are we even
All
talking about?
right.
Good
So
game
we are going
3.
to have a
So
game 3.
Filipa knew it. Filipa knew this game would have been over soon. That's why she wanted to talk about.
Yeah, of course.
Professional at heart.
I already know when
So-
it's Nadu.
We have 2 Teferi Time Lever, which
Nah, I wouldn't bring them in.
is too expensive.
Yeah, you just, it's for other matchups. It's
I
not
think
for
that
you.
card is on the bingo though, so maybe they'll bring it just for that.
Yeah, that might be it. Dranith Magistrate.
Do it?
Woo!
Ooh!
Granite's Magistrate now, nah, not either. I feel like the card that I was bringing in were very few actually. Just Force of Vigor, Dismember, and maybe he brings in Veil of Summer because Daniel has Orcish Bowmaster and Fatal Push and Thoughtseize.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea against all the removal spells.
And Daniel also has the Volatile Storm Drake that you just mentioned, so in order to break the combo with Court of Calling.
Yeah, Simon has one as well. The timing for that is crucial. Like, Call of Calling is such a powerhouse of a card.
Game 3 starts, Simon already has 5 permanents on turn 2.
And again, we see him bestowed, the Nantuku, because, well, if you play him just as a 1-1, which is a fair option in the other mirror matches where you don't have access to black, bestowing is much better because you do get to preserve the card because of the more than 1 toughness claw.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you side out Orcish Bowmaster. Well, we'll see. But when I was playing Mono Black Necro, I was sideboarding out Orcish Bowmaster against Nadu.
I don't know, killing Halfling, killing the
You can't
Nantukus.
kill Halfling.
Isn't it? Right.
It's a 1-2.
Overtime?
No.
Draw 2?
It kills very little things to bestow, and you're not gonna get Simon Nielson with killing killing orc. So that was, oh wow, look at that. He actually goes fetch land, makes a copy of Wall of Roots, and passes the turn. Unfortunately, this is a this was a backup future match, so we don't have the hand showed. But I can tell you that Simon doesn't have the combo.
But if you bestow Wall of Fruits, that means actually your triggers only cost 1, effectively, because you get the mana right away.
It's true. You get a lot of mana, although there's not too much you can do with this much mana. It's not like you have a mana sink.
You have the, let's see if Simon plays, yeah, he plays 2 Brizzly builds, so that is a heavy mana sink.
Oh wow, Bristly Bill.
But
He does have Orcish Bowmaster, so my sideboarding read was wrong.
if he gets that Halfling, I'll count that as a point for me.
You can go and get your bingo
Bingo.
Yay.
card.
Do you think if I would get a bingo, I could just go leave and get my deck box?
One of the bingo things is that a commentator mispronounces a card, and I'm sure I'm going to do that throughout
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Probably
So.
you already did that with Bristly Bill, I think.
Yeah, no,
Oh, right.
So somehow, when I play Magic, I get like the Warhammer decks and all of those things. I cannot pronounce cards.
That's great for the bingo, though. What did you get in the bingo? You just came back. Oh, some perfect
Perfect
Ooh,
sleeves.
katanas?
Super important, the perfect sleeves. Every
Katanas!
Oh, some katana
every
sleeves.
time I
Let's
see
go.
people playing modern decks without perfect sleeves, I'm always like
Your heart breaks.
a little bit worried about the cards.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, we see a lot of permanents. So Daniel is like a, mainly plays on Magical Line, and you can see the difference in board organization between players with permanents just sparse on the field.
Roughly.
Simon just 3 rows exactly of permanents.
And
Thinking about some plays here, Daniel, or maybe gone to ask a question about some cards. It doesn't seem to be. We seem to be on turn 3 of Daniel, I would say.
Yeah, there might be an out-of-the-table interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a. Oh, look at that. That's it.
Oh, I think Simon won the bingo and got himself.
yeah, because it's the same, right?
That's exactly the same deck box you have. Flipping
Great.
yellow. All right. Marsh Flats. Man, Marsh Flats, they play? Marsh Flats breeding pool combo. 2 Marsh Flats. All right. I guess that's what you have to do.
So that's also, he plays a 4-color deck, right?
Yeah.
They don't even feature any of the tri-lands.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Everything's
Imagine.
so fast now.
Like, you're playing a 4-color deck and you're saying, can't afford a fetchable 3-mana land.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
That's
Ever
how it
since-
works nowadays.
Ever since they made the surveillance, you just accept to have a slightly worse mana base in exchange of that free consider every time you fetch.
We saw how Modern Horizons set usually are shaping the format very heavily. How did you feel like these Modern Horizons 3 compared to the other ones?
Well, you're looking at the top 4.
All right.
Literally, many new cards.
I'll say here, but Modern Horizons 2 was much better than Modern Horizons 3.
Ooh.
I'll say that as a Wizards and
I really loved Modern Horizons 1 for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, I think you just don't like the birds. I mean,
Yeah,
we had the Ogak Summer, now we have to have the
but that
bird
was just
summer.
one card. Everything else was. Yeah, Modern Horizons 2 just gave us so many great answers, like Anolit, Solitude,
All right,
Fury, which was great. And they, but
there's a Nadu.
oh,
Ooh.
is
We
there
have
anything
Code
else?
Nadu.
Are we on end of turn of Simon Nielson?
No, I think that is a main phase Nadu. Could that be?
Does that mean is a Shuko on the horizon?
I don't think that the turn would have lasted for like 5 minutes if that would be Shuko.
Okay, some tokens are put on Simon's cards.
So we
Oh,
seem
there's
to
a
be in
quarter
Simon's
response.
turn.
Maybe
Oh no,
quarter-
there's a quarter response. Okay.
Maybe quarter. I think. I don't know well, but I feel like we're end of turn, and Daniel just put Nadu into play. Maybe he goes on and play another core for Outrider and core, and Simon just wants to steal.
And that works. Okay.
Oh.
It does. All right. Does he get one
Yeah, you should have 1 energy left.
extra energy, right? Yeah.
And now,
We
is he courting again?
Got a bingo.
Woo! There's another card. Okay, so now
wow.
you get the Outrider.
Simon is comboing in response. That's crazy.
Is that possible on
All right,
instant
so
speed?
actually, yeah, my Nadu knowledge can come again. There is it's not a loop because you're not main phase with bestowed endurance.
Right.
But you can get a lot of endurance by doing this.
Right.
Because sorry, I meant to say Boseiju. You can get a lot of Boseiju. You can, let's see, because I think, all right, what's happening?
This is the sideboard, I think.
Is it just saying, maybe they're just vocalizing, I have the Boseiju loop or stuff like that. And
So
then-
instead of looking at the deck, he said, just look at my sideboard. You know the
Yeah, it
7 to
looks
5
like
anyway.
Simon here takes the win.
So I think what's happening now is Simon has the instant speed Boseiju. Wow, he concedes. Man. So I think what happened right now was that Simon had the Boseiju where he just Boseiju's all the non-land permanent.
Yes.
Although Daniel still had a bunch of stuff. Maybe I'm missing something.
somebody got a big box there with the bingo.
Oh!
You went for the bigger thing they had. Quantity over
And I think as a new
also
game,
quality.
yeah.
I'm surprised there because he must have gone maybe Infinite Life with Awar Might and Finite. Actually, it's not Infinite. I don't know. I'm really curious. That's something I have to ask and to
And
someone else later.
who thinks that Simon is going to take it? Who's here for Simon?
Simon!
What about Daniel? We have one.
All right. That one person rooting for Daniel is gonna get.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Daniel has 1,000 fans, you're one of them. If Daniel has
All right.
one fan,
All right.
you are one of them. And if Daniel has no fans, you're not here with us.
Oh, sorry.
Sure, sorry.
But now, 100%
Where
of
you
Daniel's
from?
fans have boosters.
That's true.
All right, that's why you got. Sorry, I didn't. Too deep to find it. Too dark. This is heavy. Do we want to unload some?
I think so. I was thinking that, Mango.
All right,
Maybe we
all right.
should.
Let's do it.
I also think people in the back didn't get anything. I mean,
Yeah,
you should move
I'm going in the
forward to
back.
be
I'm going in
closer
the
to
back.
us, but
I'm going in the back. Sorry. No, it's okay. You look disappointed. I'll give you one.
Still so many boosters.
All right, you're enough in the back.
Ooh, you want to join us?
yeah, sure. Yeah, we have a lot to give away.
All right, yes, we're coming over there. Did you get a booster before?
I'm going a bit more in the back now.
There you go.
Make sure I get everyone.
All right.
Oh,
Sorry. Yes, here, two. One more, and then, yes, there you go. I'm sorry.
Hey,
We have one more. And there
this
you
is
go.
loud.
If you
does
didn't get a
anybody know what
booster,
happened in that game? How did Simon win?
I was too busy giving boosters away.
All right, you looks like you know it.
Somebody paying attention.
Order calling. Yeah, but then how does he win the game?
Don't you love giving things away, Thoralf?
it's fun.
Yay.
No, you. Yeah, but like you.
I mean,
Boseiju there.
You
No.
get all your lands into play.
got so
You're
many-
basically locked for
got so many
looking
lands.
through your library. And then you have an endurance.
Yeah, but that one I got.
If you, because endurance has flash, you can probably play endurance over and over again with one of the removal spells, like a dismember. Could that be? You have an endurance, you kill endurance with dismember.
Yeah, but like still, even if you just Boseiju all these non-basic lands, then you still have like halflings and things.
No, you kill them with
playing.
dismember as well.
Oh, Dismember, that's true, or Otawara too.
Yeah, like
Oh,
you
that's
basically
true.
say go with them having zero permanence.
Yeah. So you Boseiju everything, and then you just leave them with the one basic island, two basic forest, one basic swamp that you can't get rid of. And I guess he didn't have anything to combo, so he decided to concede. And like, if of course infinite tokens and things.
I mean, yeah, you have infinite.
All right, so I don't know. Again, it was curious because I was curious here.
Couldn't you also steal all of them with the Storm Drake somehow?
Okay.
Like if you dismember the Storm Drake all over, you have infinite Storm Drakes
Do you have infinite colored mana though?
from your lands.
Yeah, but
Why not?
colored.
Well, you stack them all over. You have infinite mana.
Yeah, but Dismember costs 2 life or colored mana. Anyway, while we speak, there's the 0-2 tracker once again. So, Daniel is going off once
We're
again.
gone for a minute.
Yeah. Man, this is going to be probably the fastest PT top 8 ever.
Even though they go up to game 5s a lot.
Yeah, but this lasts very little
Yeah, this is lightning speed.
compared to the standard one of last with the game 5 domain versus blue eye control.
Oh,
That
those
lasted
go long,
forever,
yeah.
the last PT.
Did you do the? I know you won the PTQ.
No, there wasn't because there wasn't a Magicon.
Right.
So they didn't do the watch.
Oh, yeah, it was in Seattle.
It was a closed event. But this time, hopefully, they'll do all the Magicons with Pro Tours. It's always great to see.
Yeah, this is
all
so
the
much fun.
people just getting to watch the Pro Tours, and I get to meet a lot of people that watch my content. So I hope Wizards keeps on doing Pro Tour tight with Magicons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's super fun.
And maybe one more in Europe next year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Maybe 2?
Yeah.
Who do you think is ahead, and who do you think is going to win these semifinals?
So one of the people just combos off, and then we're tied at 2-2. Simon will be on the play, which we already agreed is enormous. And at that point, probably I would say
Simon.
65, 70%.
Also, it's his birthday.
Yeah, so
No,
just
you're-
because of that.
You're
The
luckier-
karma of the
you're luckier
universe,
during
yes.
Your birthday.
I mean, Simon is already a very lucky person,
Yeah.
inside and outside. So you can't harm having more karma.
I mean, how many top 8 in a row like the Simon does?
So there's this one, then he missed the last one.
Yeah,
Noob.
he lost the
Oh.
winning in the last.
Then he lost that way.
So bad,
Then
such a
there
bad
were
player.
4 in a row, average. Then he missed one, again, noob. And then he top 8'd the first one where he started all of this. So right now,
Both him and Javier are
right now out of
on a
8,
6
he
streak, I
has
think.
6.
Yeah, on a 6 streaks right now.
Very average.
Very average.
Very average, yeah.
I mean, could have been better.
Yeah, I mean, could have been 8 out of 8, right?
He's doing a great job as defending his Kai of the Buddha trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, once again, he's looking at the sideboard so that they don't have to reveal the deck. And they get a game number 5 where someone doesn't play. But he has very few cards. Does he have 5 cards?
That's 5 cards, yes.
Oh, there's in the big on card a move to 4, but
All right, they're both. Once again, this is live, I think, because we have the cards on the left. So I think we're catching up.
Oh, wow. So now we see a Nadu, a Saga, a Shuko, so, and a Halfling. That's basically just
Yeah, but no untapped land.
The whole
Just Lush
bingo.
Portico. So it's not going to be as fast.
which is not super important, right? Because you need to wait to
Doesn't
turn
matter.
3
It
anyway.
doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter.
Look at the hand, Thoughtseize,
It has to be all on top of the deck now.
oh,
But at the bright side, Daniel has another Thoughtseize, and thanks to this Multi to 5, if Simon draws a land, he gets to be Thoughtseize proof by not having any spell in hand.
Yeah, also Daniel also only has like 2 green 1-drops as a backup.
Yeah, Daniel chose to keep on 5 a reactive hand, which given Simon hand was a good choice.
What do you take? Nadu?
it's a very tough choice.
I guess he may not take Nadu because there's another Thoughtseize. So he takes Halfling or Shuko if he has a disenchant in the deck.
But what
That-
if Simon draws a Nadu? You're very screwed, yeah.
Yeah, I choose to take Nadu, but again, if Simon draws us a land now, he gets to be
Okay,
Thoughtseize.
let's see.
So this is maybe one of the things where actually, well, not the subtext, but
Reformist.
the actual text of Urza making constructs comes into play. Because if nobody goes off, which eventually, like sometimes happens, you're the one making big constructs that are now 2/2, 3/3.
Oh, thought seizing only a
Yeah, so-
forest in Simon's hand.
Yeah, if Daniel would have discarded a Halfling and not Nadu, he would have been able to discard Nadu now.
Yes.
So that was a very tough decision, and I'm not saying it was right or wrong, just saying it was
It was
No.
bad.
ended up being bad, but Magic is a game of uncertain decision most of the
Okay,
time.
yeah, and now
Although Simon, Javier, they tend to make the right one most of the time. All right, he plays that forest, draws a Noble Hierarch. Wow, he's playing Noble Hierarch?
probably as number 5 and 6.
Not that I don't trust. I was just wanting to know how many.
So
One.
usually,
There's one.
just one. They came up at 5. Usually, that's the Magic consensus. 4 of is not good enough. You want to have a little bit of extra. So most of them list play 5 and 6 1-drops.
Yeah. Halfling, Sylvan Safekeeper. There was no space on the table. It had to go on top of the Halfling.
It's bestowed.
So. All right.
What does
Construct.
Simon get?
Yeah, and here we see construct actions. 2 3/3s.
Let's see. Cards in hand. Simon makes sure to not show it to the person behind him that writes the cards in hand. So we
Saga-
also don't know.
Doesn't really give you a choice, right? You have just Shoko and Haywire and that's it.
Shuko.
Shuko, Haywire, that's it. Like there's
Oh,
nothing.
it's a Summoner's Pact?
Is it?
No.
It was written there, I'm not sure.
That would be,
That would be over.
yeah. I mean,
We know Daniel's hand.
barring any perceived interaction of this member, but you have to go for it. You have to go for it. Simon's thinking.
So the card that Daniel can have is, of course, Fatal Push.
So because it's your birthday, most people don't know that. But because it's your birthday, one time in the top 8, you get to ask to see your opponent's hand.
Okay, that's great.
It's like rule 219b.
Yeah. Everyone knows that, right?
What's the A?
A is when you say one time, it comes one time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
What would Mango do here?
What would I do here? Well,
Mango is club, let them have it.
I would have. I would go pack for Nadu, cast Nadu.
So there is a little bit of risk involved because you have to pay for the pact. So given your opponent having maybe a removal spell for Nadu and some form of Bowmaster killing the Hierarch, you're dying if you can't pay.
No, it's fine. He has 2 mana dork, 2 lands. There's nothing that's stopping Simon to get into the final.
Once your opponent lets the first trigger resolve, you're good. Like, you know, it's like, if you don't have anything,
Okay, it's an Antuco.
Oh.
happy birthday to
To
you.
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Simon. Happy birthday, Nadu.
Yay!
Yay!
All
Okay.
right.
I think we can give some boosters before we go to the finals,
Yes.
right?
Certainly can.
All right. Who
It's-
plays commander? Out. It's a professional screen.
Who doesn't play Commander?
Out. It's the commander.
I love these. They just change the answers, right?
All right, we actually.
We're running out of boosters?
No, I'm saying it's much lighter than when I arrived.
Yeah, because you're throwing
time?
away boosters. At
Just a couple. Yeah, that's great.
A large.
By the way, like, there's a lot of collector boosters in here. A lot of fun things. I'm going to try to go a bit in the back so I can get everyone.
on the left. Who plays Murktide? You do? I do.
I'm going also in the middle because I feel like we focus here a bit too much.
Bye.
All right, let me ask you a question.
No.
We know that it's Simon's birthday today, and I really don't want to give him any Commander decks because he's probably win, and that's a lot of money.
Oops, sorry.
Is there anybody else who has a birthday today?
No.
All right, is there anybody who had a birthday yesterday or tomorrow?
Hey. No.
What do you have?
We are going to ID check, by the
2
way.
days from now? Is anybody else on 2 days from now? Friday? Okay. I see another one. It's your birthday? Today? Okay, both of you come here for the 2 days, and you. We have 3 Commander decks to give away. What's your name?
Lucas.
Happy birthday, Lucas.
Thank you very much. We met
You,
yesterday.
you can pick one of those. What?
Jesus Christ.
Which one again?
I'll take the.
Take it, it's yours. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
And you?
I think I'll take this one.
So you have in 2 days.
Yeah.
All right, and you had on Friday.
I had on
So happy birthday to you too. And in Germany, you don't say it for the future because
How do you say happy birthday in
very
Italian? Is it Augurini? No.
Auguri.
Auguri.
No, buon compleanno. Who are we clapping right now?
I hope you all are having fun.
Okay.
magic.
To keep you
Of course.
asleep.
So are we going to take a break?
Hello.
Yeah, so when the countdown ends, we are going to the news desk. That will have sound, so we will leave for a bit, have a little break before our finals, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And you can all hear the news desk. Very strong competitors in our final, right? Do you think this is the time that Simon is going to win the Pro Tour on his birthday?
I mean, by the
I think-
numbers.
Somebody said yes already.
Oh, Simon is here! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Simon! Happy birthday, Nadu!
You know that?
Woo!
You know that Simon was supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to be the third one.
Yeah, but why isn't he?
He's not here.
Yeah.
He's not too late. He's actually on time, but he's playing the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I was saying months ago when I knew that Simon was supposed to be here, I'm like, I think he's going to top 8.
Yeah. He actually had the same situation. They wanted him before, and he also top 8'd.
In Chicago, it happened the same thing.
Yes.
In Chicago, it was supposed to be me and him, and then he was playing the top.
Yeah.
Wait, the finals. He was playing the finals.
yeah.
He came up to the finals.
Must be
Back-to-back finals.
Must be
He's gonna
rough
win this
to
time.
Yeah.
always make up 8.
Okay, everyone, we are going to leave for a second, but we will be back with a lot of more prizes and for our finals as well.
Go.
If you'd like to see yourself on the Sunday stage, you can by making it to the Pro Tour. Check out how you can do so by looking here at the Regional Championship qualifiers. You'll see that third line there, August through November, is Modern and Sealed deck. And that's the way you can get in through a Regional Championship qualifier, and then you can make it to a Regional Championship. September, December is Pioneer, and that's when you can make your way to the Pro Tour from those tournaments. Hey everybody, welcome back to coverage of Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3 here from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. It's been an absolutely beautiful city to visit and a wonderful tournament so far. 10,000 people strong here at the MagicCon, and now we've got just 2 players remaining here in the Pro Tour. Very, very exciting stuff. The finals are on the way. Maria Bartholdi and Frank Karsten here with you at the news desk at the Pro Tour. And we're going to talk through the metagame, Frank, because we had some exciting stuff happen in the Swiss portion of the tournament, and talk to you about win rates, if you're curious about how all the decks did.
Absolutely, Maria. I ran the numbers to see which decks had the best win rates. Here you see it. Bent Nadu was absolutely fantastic. Based on its non-mirror, non-draw modern matches on both day 1 and day 2, it won 59.3 of its matches. For Colorado,
Incredible.
yeah. If I just compare it to the Pro Tour in Barcelona 2019, their Hogak had only a 56% win rate. So yeah, absolutely incredible performance, and for Colorado not far behind with 55.8%. Nadu decks absolutely dominated this tournament. But we also highlighted several decks, splitting it between aggro, mid-range, control, and, well, combo, to see if you want to see your next modern deck, what to go for, Maria.
All right, check it out. Here is Gruul Prowess. A lot of people were very interested in this deck from Brian Voss, who made a deep run in the tournament. Turn 1, play a Prowess creature. Turn 2, scale up, Soul Stroke, Mutagenic Growth, attack! That's lethal on turn 2 with that deck. Does that sound good to you? It sounds good to me. Check out Gruul Prowess. But what if you're a mid-range player, Frank?
Well, as an aggro player, I love your deck. But
Thank you.
if you like mid-range, I recommend checking out Yuta Takahashi's Dimir Murktide deck. Out of all modern archetypes, it actually had the best win rate. 70%, only one player playing it, but still a great performance. A notable card in this deck is not just the Murktide, but the Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog brought back memories of Psychic Talk, which dominated Magic back in 2002, discarding deep analysis for value, and, well, we can actually have sort of the same type of interactions in the new Modern. Really fun deck to play, and did pretty well in the hands of Yuta Takahashi.
Yeah, very cool deck there for mid-range players. What about control players? I don't even want to talk to you, but here you go. Just got control in the hands of one of our top 8 players, Javier Dominguez, who built this deck specifically to beat Bant Nadu, and did exactly that almost all weekend long until our top 8. Every tool you could possibly want or need if your control mage is in this list. Supreme Verdict, we've got a new Energy Sweeper and Wrath of the Skies. It's just really, really resilient, and will give you everything you want out of a game of Magic, which is mostly saying no. There you go. There's a controlled list for you. What about a combo list?
Well, what else
What
could it
could it
be? Yeah, Ruby Storm did pretty poorly at this tournament, so of course it had to be Nadu. If you want to play combo in Modern right now, pick Nadu. Sam Pardee's list seems to be pretty well set up for the mirror with Volatile Stormdrake in there. But one piece of recommendation I have, if you want to try out this deck on Magic Online, bring back the Tassa's Oracle training wheels, make things a bit easier on yourself. But apart from that, Bant Nadu is the way to go if you like combo or if you want to win in Modern right now.
All right, there's a look at some decks to try out coming up in the coming weekends. Well, everyone, if you've been watching the stream, you may have heard yesterday we made a big announcement. One of the greatest players to ever play the game, Kai Budde, is seriously ill with cancer. To remember his career and recognitions to the game, everything he's contributed over the years, Wizards of the Coast has decided to name the Player of the Year trophy in his honor. Kai Budde stopped by to talk with us about his amazing career and everything he's done along with his friends and teammates over the years. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to be back to set up our finals. But right now, here's Kai Budde. Enjoy.
Magic the Gathering actually found me. So when I was in school, I had a bunch of friends, and with these friends, I played Dungeons and Dragons. One of these guys was playing Magic, so we started to play some multiplayer Magic. I got hooked, started to go to a shop. Then there were like pretty good people playing locally, like going to German nationals and that stuff. So I started to play, get friends with these guys, and then I kind of moved up the ladder from playing shop tournaments to playing PTQs. And back then, regionals was a big thing. So regionals, nationals, yeah, and that's how I got into tournament play. I won a PTQ, and then we went to a GP in Switzerland, and Dirk top 8 did that, qualified for Proto Chicago, which was the same Proto that I was qualified for. Going to Proto Chicago, we had no idea how good we were, because suddenly we were playing against these Americans, which we didn't really have contact with before. And then Dirk won the Pro Tour, and I finished top 16. And at that point, we were like, okay, we are pretty good at this stuff. Like, we are on their level, we can play with them. And then in the same season, I played 5 GPs and won 3 of them. And at that point, we were kind of like, this is a thing, this is something we could be doing for a living for a couple of years. We are clearly good at this. We know we're good at this. We can hang out with the best. And that's how we got there, yeah.
Kai Budde, where to start? He is a true legend of this game. Like, I don't think there will ever be anyone that comes close to Kai.
The World Championship 1999 was the first World Championship I qualified for, and it happened to be in Japan. I've never been to Japan before. I mean, back then I was 18, so yeah, I didn't travel that much. I did top 8 that tournament, which obviously felt great. It was my first Pro Tour top 8. Back then we counted Worlds as a Pro Tour. And then when we saw the top 8, my mediocre Sender deck lined up perfectly against everyone else. The final against Mark Lepine was still the fastest finals ever, I believe. It was best of 5, and I think it was finished in 15 minutes. So yeah, that felt really good, and I ended up snatching the Player of the Year title from John Finkel in the last minute, basically. So yeah, that was a great tournament. So my second Pro Tour top 8 was Chicago in 2000. That was a standard-only Pro Tour, so it was 14 rounds of standard, no other format involved. The top 8 was very strong. That was one of the stronger top 8s in the history of the game, probably. In the semifinal, I played against Brian Kibler in the trademark Dragon deck. I think he's still salty that he lost that match. I think it was a good matchup for him, but I got kind of lucky when everything played out. And yeah, then I beat Kamil Cornelissen, which is another of the very great Magic players of all time in the final. And yeah, 2 Pro Tour top 8s, 2 wins. It was a nice life back then.
My most enduring memory of Kai is actually from my first Pro Tour San Diego 2004. I walk into the tournament hall and I see Kai, Dirk, and Marco, Phoenix Foundation, and I read so much about these guys. I followed Pro Tour coverage for years. It would have just blown my mind to learn that many years later, Kai would actually be on my team. I would play test with him. I would eat meals cooked by him. I'd listen to him to complain about things and then complain about different things. And it's just incredible kind of the Magic journey that took Kai from being this guy I read about in coverage to someone who picked me up from the train station when I got to Amsterdam.
So the probably best city for me to play Magic in is Barcelona in Spain. I played 2 Pro Tours and the GP there. I top 8'd the Pro Tour, I won the GP, and then in 2001, I won the Pro Tour in Barcelona, which was all booster draft. At first it was super smooth for me, but then I lost 2 rounds in a row, and I had to win the last rounds against a very good friend of mine, Markus Jöbstel. I did win, made top 8. From there, it was smooth sailing again. I had a great draft deck in the top 8. I beat a close friend in Patrick Mello in the semifinals, and then I played one of the really great players in the game, in Alan Comer, in the finals. But the matchups were so good for me, and yeah, I mean, that was third quarter top 8, third win. So a special place for me are always team events. 2 of the closest friends in my life are Dirk Barbarowski and Marco Blume. I played a lot of team events with them. We did super well. One of them was the Pro Tour in New York in 2001. Again, teams, we played so much Magic together. We prepared so much for this stuff. We were really good at Team Rochester draft.
Yeah, Kai, he's obviously an incredible player, arguably the best to ever play the game. And when I started playing the Pro Tour, he won, the very first Pro Tour I played, he won. He beat me in my first GP NPT finals. And, even the first time I beat him, I was like kind of a small miracle. So that's kind of funny. I had a really good matchup, but it barely beat him. Just like, the Juggernaut, just incredible player. Just it seemed like he could never lose. He would never lose in the top 8.
So my 5th prototype fight happened in New Orleans, again in the year 2001. This time we actually had a great deck, and this was one of the events where Dirk thought we don't have a good deck, and he didn't actually travel. We ended up doing super well in the tournament. Our deck matched up against pretty much anything that other people brought. Yeah, it was super smooth sailing. Benedict Klauser and me made top 8 with it. The top 8 matches, the quarterfinal and semifinal were not particularly close. The final was a very long game against another good friend of mine, Tomi Walamith. It was super close. In the end, I had to draw a Morphling at the correct time. I did, and I won that one. So now we're at 5 top 8s and 5 points.
If Magic had to have a best player, we're so lucky that it turned out to be someone like Kai. Kai shows how we can use competition to bring out the best in ourselves. So for me, Kai stands for hard work, integrity, respect, honesty, fair play. Kai is one of my heroes.
So 1 year later, Boston 2002, another team pro tour. Everyone kind of saw that Dirk Bobrowski, Marco and me were favorite to win. Obviously, we weren't 50% to win, but we were the most likely team to win. Then we lost the first 2 rounds. At that stage, we had to win every round to win the tournament, which we ended up doing. So 6 pro tours, 6 prototype 8s, 6.
So Kai and I have a long history. He used to beat me a lot, as in 8 or 9 times in a row, until I finally stopped the losing streak. One day, I think it was after a GP Biarritz, he came to my house when I was living with my parents. And my mom asked him, are you Kai? Are you the German guy that beats my son all the time? He's like, yes. Please stop it.
Proto Chicago 2003 was a limited proto, and it was Rochester Draft. Rochester Draft, most people probably don't know about it. You put the pack on the table and everyone picks a card. I was really good at Rochester Draft. Team protos are all done in Rochester Draft, so that was probably my strongest format. The Swiss, like the pre-eliminary rounds of the tournament went super well. I think I was sitting at 11-1. And then the top 8 draft, I got very lucky, had an insane deck, and yeah, now we are at the 7 proto win.
It's funny, like I said, like there's always that question, John or Kai, John or Kai. As if we got to know each other for a little bit. I went to him like, dude, Kai, they always say, I'm like, I have no clue. And he's like, yeah, I have no clue either. Like, we both have no idea whatsoever. However, I will definitely say that when you're looking at the GOATs, there is no doubt the Kai Budde is the Michael Jordan of Magic, because nobody's peak sustained dominance will ever be what he had. He won 7 Pro Tours. He won, it was like 3 in 1 year. The only person I can think of like that is Michael Jordan. Like his peak and his dominance, I don't think will ever be, replicated. I might, end up putting up another top 8 here, another top 8 there. But I'm in second place, I think, with 3 Pro Tour wins. Kai has 7. But Kai has 7. It's just, he's just incredible. And he's a lot of fun, and we've gotten to know each other really well. And it's just been a real treat to get to know him.
So after my pretty good run of 7 proto wins, I started to slow down a little bit. People around me left the game. Marco and Dirk both quit playing professionally. I played a couple of more events, but eventually I also picked up a job and started to do other stuff. I was still playing a little bit here and there. Eventually I got voted into the Hall of Fame, which I'm very thankful for, which meant I had 3 Pro Tour invite. So I started to use these and play about 1 event a year because, I still love Magic, great game. 2010, I went to Pro Tour Amsterdam. I didn't prepare that much, but fortunately my good friend Gabriel Nassif tested with me, and he broke it with a white aggressive deck. Paul Rietzel was also working with us, and Paul actually ended up winning the Pro Tour, and Gabriel's deck carried me to an undefeated extended record, which meant I was in the top 8 of that Pro Tour as well, where I lost to Brett Nelson in the quarterfinal. I played about 1 event a year, didn't do so well for most of them. And then the Mythic Championship in Las Vegas came around, where I did very well. I think I finished 3rd or 4th, so I don't exactly remember how that worked out. But yeah, that was a high-profile event. It felt very good to have another top finish. And then fast forward to 2023, Barcelona, a modern Pro Tour, again working with the same people. We picked up a couple of new faces, but essentially the same group. Everything was great. I picked a great deck. Edgar Mahales built it for me. It was a Cascades Rhino deck. Again, my draft record was okay. My record in Modern was great. I picked up my, I believe, 10s or 11s Proto Top 8. It felt incredibly great after such a long time. That's 4 Proto Top 8s in 4 decades of playing Magic, which means I'm playing this game for a very long time. And yeah, that was awesome.
Kai just brings that organization to the room. He brings that respect and that knowledge, right? So if you're doing something stupid, right? You know, you make a bad play, or you bring a deck to the table that doesn't really make sense, Kai will be straight up with you. He will shut that down. He will keep us on track, right? Like he is a no nonsense kind of guy, and when Kai speaks, you listen.
So I can't even imagine my life without Magic the Gathering. I picked it up when I was 15. I started to find friends, played Magic with them, found more friends. My entire circle of friends is essentially Magic players at this point. I got my job through Magic players. I'm still working with a lot of Magic players. I'm 44 years old. I'm playing the game since I was 15. I mean, I assume my life would have been completely different if I never got introduced to Magic. It's just incredibly important for me.
I think one of the things about Kai that really follows his career is how serious and how intense he is, and so no nonsense, and so, you know, intimidating. And one of the things I love most about Kai is when you get him to laugh. It is so unexpected, but it is so joyous and it is so heartfelt, and you feel like you just got a gold star. And you know, I haven't done it nearly enough, and I hope I get to do it, you know, again in the future. But it's like those are the laughs you remember.
In life, everyone gets 15 minutes of fame. That's what people are saying. Obviously, for me, that's Magic. That's the only thing I'm well known for. There's 7 PT wins, there's 7 GP wins, there's 4 Player of the Year titles. One of the PT wins is a World Championship title. So these numbers might not be beaten. Right now, it looks like people are just so good at this game. There's so many great players. So that someone goes on a streak like that seems somewhat unlikely. I did get diagnosed with very likely lethal cancer a year ago. And that kind of makes you think about what you did in your life and what your accomplishments are. And in my case, that's clearly Magic. And I'm a tournament player. I'm very competitive. And these titles, these results, that's my legacy, and I'm incredibly proud of that.
We wanted to show you this piece today because you know the phrase, Kai doesn't lose on Sundays. Well, this would be his day, right? This would be his moment to shine, and we are so very proud to honor him. Moving on to our own finals here at Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3, let's take a look at our bracket and find out what's happened so far in our top 8 today. We have arrived on the right side of your screen. Simon Nielson versus Sam Pardee. It is a Bant Nadu mirror. The deck of the tournament has found itself in the finals. We've got a player from Team CFB, a player from Team Handshake, the 2 giant teams in the building facing off in our championship match. Let's get to meet our players. Sam Pardee, Simon Nielson both have 6 top finishes to their names. Storied players, Sam Pardee, your Strixhaven champion, Simon Nielson, your current reigning player of the year. It's also his birthday, so it'd be a pretty good birthday present for Simon Nielson if he were to take this thing down. Let's take a peek at the road to getting here to the Sunday stage here today. Here's Sam Pardee's road here. Didn't have a great day 1 of the tournament, went 5-3, managed to rally a bit on day 2, getting a 7-1 record, but you can see that down there in round number 13 played Simon Nielson, and yeah, Sam took that match down, so it's a bit of a rematch from round number 13. Up next, Simon Nielson, like we said, lost to Sam later on in the tournament. Simon has been putting up insane numbers all through this season. This is his 5th top 8 in the last 6 major tournaments, which is utterly incredible. Those are our players. What a fantastic finals we have for you. Talk to me about this mirror match, Frank.
Yes, Bant Nadu has just been the story of the entire tournament. And let's just take a look at the deck list for the final time to see what it is all about. So to summarize it for a final time, Bant Nadu wants to assemble Nadu, Winged Wisdom, along with either Outrider Encore or Shuko to target your own creatures for 0 mana. allowing Nadu's trigger to happen twice for each creature you control. Each land put onto the battlefield by Nadu then triggers Spring Heart Nantuko, setting up another 1/1 creature for, more triggers. And once that conveyor belt gets going, you can easily draw your entire deck and eventually win with convoluted Sylvan Safekeeper endurance loops. Relevant interaction for the mirror includes Haywire Might and Boseiju to remove an opposing Shuko, and Semperdi also has Volatile Stormdrake as a Court of Calling target. It can steal an opponent's Nadu, turning the tables, and that has looked so good this weekend. Sam may have a small edge in this matchup because of that inclusion. Simon Nielson's decklist is almost the same. It's basically gonna be a race who will find their combo pieces faster, and you'll see the players use Urza's Saga to find Shuko, Court of Calling to find Nadu, so there will be enormous consistency and potential turn 3 kills. Now, even though Sam did beat Simon in the Swiss, Simon will be on the play because he was the higher seed in the Swiss, and that can give a big edge when it is such a race, this matchup. One way or another, this is just going to be a very tense and close match with a big Pro Tour title on the line. I can't wait to see who shakes it, how it shakes out, and who takes a trophy.
Absolutely. We've answered the question, will Nadu or will don't? Well, it will Nadu, but in whose hands will it Nadu? Okay, I'm done. Enough from me. It's time for the finals here at Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3. I'm going to pass it on over to Riley and Monty with the call.
Thank you very much, Maria, and thank you, Frank, for such an excellent introduction to this matchup. Welcome to the booth for the very last time here at Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3. My name's Riley Knight. With me, my stalwart friend and confidant, Mani Davudi, and together we will be calling the final of this Pro Tour. I couldn't be happier to bring you all of the action from the feature match area in such terrific company. Mani, a Bant Nadu mirror here, and we're going to have to delve into what decisive key cards and play patterns that will separate these two players as we head into this match.
Yeah, I think one thing that we can definitely refer to is the semifinals match that we saw previously between Sam Party and Eli Cassis, as that was a matchup between the Team Handshake build of Nadu versus Sam and Team Channel Fireballs build of Nadu. And Eli was the higher seed, as Simon is here, and Sam was able to break serve using his excellent main deck tech of the Volatile Stormdrake. So this isn't going to be something new for Sam, being able to be the one that breaks serve and takes a game on the draw. And if he's able to take both of the pre-board games...
Okay, everyone, we are back here for our finals. Now, will we have a birthday win? Simon has been trying, I mean, as you said, a lot of top 8s.
Yeah,
now,
last time he lost the final at the very last... like 2 Pro Tours ago, he lost the final against Seth Manfield, which was actually in PT top 8 contention this time as well. Well, never mind, he made the top 8. What am I talking about? So that's crazy. That could have actually did a rematch after 2 vow.
If the universe doesn't align today, I don't know when.
yeah, I mean, sometimes you have, eventually it will happen. But let's see if it's today or not. We'll go see first here.
So, the first seed in Swiss goes first. It doesn't say, but I remember it's Simon because he played a land before. No, so it's Simon. So he also starts with the Dryad Arbor, which makes sense because it can't really be destroyed. So it's basically just a tapped forest, which is very important.
Yeah, that's super. If you didn't know your opponent list, you would never go Dryad Arbor go, unless you're mulliganing and your hand is non-functional. But because, of course, we're playing an open deck list, and you know that this is a mirror match with no creature removal spell main deck, you can do that. And look at that Shifting Woodland actually coming into play untapped because of Dryad Arbor. A couple of Shuko, which is very redundant, that second Shuko, unless Sam
you
has
want
a
to beat
main
down?
deck, Awar Might, does he? He does, yeah. So I guess the second Shuko is a protection for the second Awar Might.
So both of them brought Bant, which now is in the final. Both of them represent the biggest teams.
That's true. Team Channel Fireball versus Team Handshake.
So is this kind of a feud that it will be settled forever now with this victory?
Well, then I know you are rooting for.
Well, again, Seth Manfield from Team Channel Fireball beat Simon 2 PTs ago in in this very same team matchup. So maybe
one of the
NJ
most
can fight back.
One of the most important differences is that Sempardi brought 2 Teferis in the main deck. So that might be one of the blanks he can draw that don't really do anything.
And I know that Simon has been having a sick run so far these couple of years, but Sempardi also doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I think last year in Barcelona, he was also in the top 8, so...
We're starting. There's a Nadu into play on turn 3.
Only 2 creatures.
Okay, that's a land. Although Dread Arbor is already in play, so you can't fetch Dread Arbor to continue the chain, which was a pretty common play when you play Nadu.
How does equipping work when you only have 1 creature?
Well, you can equip your creature over and over.
But it doesn't change because you have, like, it's already equipped on the creature, but you can't target it, but it just doesn't move.
Yeah, in Legacy, we have the card Cephalid Illusionist, which is basically similar to Nadu, except you can target it with Shuko over and over and mill your whole deck and win that way. They found that effect.
Ooh, a tap land.
Yeah, so
Fortunate.
Looks like Simon actually stopped. This is something that hasn't happened very often since we started doing this coverage.
Yeah, only 2 creatures. The hits didn't line up. There is a summoner's pack, so technically he could add a creature to the battlefield. As you said, Dread Arbor is already on the battlefield that can't be fetched.
Yeah, it seems like that's what Simon is doing, where he's just going to Summoner's Pact for a, whatever, elf.
Sometimes when you have the core Outrider, you can Endurance and add per evoke another 2 triggers from your hand with 0 mana, which is very important to get access to more mana.
Or you can flash Endurance to Cord for 1 more. So, and Simon does have the Endurance, although Shuko is only sorcery speed. So
Sylvan
you can't do
Safekeeper.
that. Okay, Sylvan Safekeeper is another interesting one because it lets you, quote unquote, go off without Shuko, but this time doesn't matter because Shuko's already in play.
It can add now 2 triggers.
A bingo!
Bingo!
Great! Go collect your prize.
It can add 2 triggers now. Unfortunately, you will have to pay for a pack, but it also means...
You can go to the Ultimate Guard booth and they will...
And then come and
you
show
can
us
pick
what you got.
anything. Yeah.
That Nadu is protected. Not that I think much happens to it at that point. Sempardi could play Teferi and bounce it.
Yeah, it looks like Simon can't win this turn.
They do play a Volatile Storm deck in the main deck, the party list. So that is actually quite important now that Safekeeper can protect Nadu from getting stolen. Basically, this is fingers crossed, Sam, don't go off mode. Because next turn, you're through.
Yeah, so Simon, not that it matters, but Simon can also go off on the opponent turn with Sylvan Safekeeper. But there's no Volatile Storm Drake in his list, so he can't even find Court of Calling to steal anything at instant speed.
And how many cards of Modern Horizons 3 is this deck playing?
Well, you see Sylvan Safekeeper there. You see the old border. And right now, I don't remember the set. Do you remember? Apocalypse? Judgment. So it was originally made in Judgment, and funnily enough, we have in this room, I don't know if it's watching right now, but the person that made the card, the winner of the Invitational Olerade.
So a little fun
is here.
fact, he won the very first one, but declined to get a card. He didn't say, don't want it, it's not important.
Oh,
so
wow.
he didn't get a card for a long period of time. Then more people got the card, like Darwin Castle, Bob Mayer, all of those, and then eventually realized, actually that's kind of cool to have a card. Can I have a card? Because, I mean, I want it, but I maybe have been foolish. And at that point, Mark Rosso said, okay, let's do this. You do get a card. But at that point, Ole went to the army and had his hair completely shaved. We do have to put you on the card as you were back then when you won. That's why he has the whole long hair still on the card. And then he said, yes, okay. And he got finally the card in Judgment.
Yeah, so that card from Judgment is actually from Modern Horizons 3. Because one of the features of Modern Horizons 3 is to bring back old cards, such as, of course, Sylvan Safekeeper right now. I don't know if there's anything else that got brought back and that we see a lot here.
So that existed
Corruption
before?
Tower, I guess. It's one that's in this top 8. Maybe something else.
Nadu is a new card.
Yeah, and Nantuko is also a new card. And
One of the-
Safekeeper. All these cards are so important for the deck to work.
One of the things you have to consider at this point, technically you could go off, right? You have a Civ and Safekeeper, so if you hit a Nut of Lands and the Court of Calling, you could get to the Core Outrider, and that would give you the possibility to maybe get a loop. It's unlikely. You probably wouldn't do it if you don't have to, but if Sam Perdue now presents something that threatens to win the game, Simon would have to take that chance.
Yeah, so Simon has a Summoner's Pact to pay in his upkeep, but that doesn't really matter.
No.
Like, once you untap with 3 creatures plus a Court of Calling in your hand, Simon's going to win the game.
So there's double Court of Calling, which means combo if you have enough resources to pay for those. This is
Okay, what's going on here? So,
and then again, this is also very important because of Safekeeper, you can't steal the Nadu.
so Halfling, is he courting for 2?
Yeah, that looks for 2.
So you can get the Nadu, you can get the Volatile Storm Drake,
Yes, but that won't be helpful, yes, because that's the target for Nadu, and then it will get another target from the Safekeeper, giving Shroud. The way most of the payment works, also on the discharges, you don't pay upfront, you pay when the ability resolves. So that means you do get to keep the energy if the ability resolves, but I believe Storm Deck actually says that once you trade, you do get the energy. So that means nobody will get any energy in this case because the trade never happens.
Yeah, so Sam just made a play, kind of a desperate play, I would say. He didn't really have much things to do in order to get out of this.
Yeah, sometimes people make mistakes, and I mean, even if it's 1 in 100 or 1 in a million, I mean, first of all, you don't have any time restrictions. You can go for whatever you want.
Yeah, this.
But you try. You know, that's the 1 in whatever chance. And we have seen people make mistakes. Maybe even very obvious mistake. I saw Javier trying to counter an uncounter spell in the quarterfinals. Shouldn't happen most of the time. Happens sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes people are also nervous.
Yeah.
But here in this case, I mean, Simon has been here for 1,000 times already.
But it still gets you. Like, I can't tell you, but I assume it still gets you. You're still trying to perform your best, and in the end...
Simon untaps, pays the pact, and is just going to play the Nantuko Spring Heart and just go on from there. I'm assuming Simon will...
Yes. And those people are knowledgeable enough to say, yeah, this is enough. We don't have to go through all of it.
Yeah, so Simon doesn't actually play Tassa's Oracle, but he does have the Otawara, so he's going to be able to possess you to 2 non-basic lands, Otawara all your permanents, leave Sam with just 2 basics.
And the random, you bounce all the creatures, yeah, it's...
Yeah, I just want to make sure, well, there's 3 basics.
Also the infinite life stuff.
Yeah, infinite life don't matter though, in this matchup in particular, but yeah, you will leave Sam with just 3 lands, and I guess he just decides that it's over.
I think since Simon won and it's a birthday boy, I think we should give some presents as well.
Oh, presents. I heard presents. Somebody said presents.
All right, we got actually not that many packs, so we need to keep them for
Is this the
the end.
second to last round? Okay.
Yeah.
So giving away one of the Cluedo editions. Ooh.
Oh, that's nice.
All right. Let's go. Filipa, let's go. Me and you, we go get some packs.
And I will try the cool thing to give this away.
Who wants them?
Yay!
Who doesn't want them? Ah, okay.
I love that we are like,
Back.
who loves Simon for some packs? I do. Who's rooting for the other person? Me, I love Sam. So you all just want whatever we are giving away.
Where are you guys from? Dubai, nice.
Hi. All right. I have a quick question. Whoever shouts any answer first, please be honest. I probably don't hear, but I want a magic set that starts with B. I think that's you. Very good. There you go. 1 Cluedo replica edition. You're welcome. Have fun.
And don't forget that you have the bingo cards that you could also play along. And if you find bingo, you can shout it out, then go to the Ultimate Guard booth, get a prize as well. So everyone can get prizes, which is nice. This game is also going to be without sideboard, right? Because
Yes.
it's the second one.
Second game of best of 5 is without sideboard. Throughout the history of Magic, they had a lot of different ways to play the top 8. We've had just simple best of 3. We've had best of 5 with just the first match being pre-sideboarded. We had probably many more ways to play, but I feel like this way to play the best of 5 has been sticking out for a while, and I think it's also the most fair one. That, but obviously in the mirror match doesn't impact it too much, the ability for this player to sideboard. But what impacts us a lot is the ability to be on the play. So now Sampard is going to be on the play. Looks like he's mulliganing. But as you saw earlier, Simon won on a multi-5 pretty convincingly.
Yeah,
so
one of the bingo cards is multi-4, so pay attention. Maybe we'll see one of those.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, we hope not,
Hopefully
but...
not. Or then they have to change the mulligan rule again. No, I'm joking. So we have Sampardi from the United States. We have a nice final here. United States, North America versus Europe. We here, most of us are European. Who came here from the United States? We have anyone in the hall?
Oh, we have some.
All right,
Nice.
all right. Cool, cool, cool.
Well, who's here from Euro?
Yay.
All right, I think that's...
Who's here from the Euro and your country is still in the soccer Euro finals? I have to say football, though.
Not me.
Oh, we have some. Nice.
Not me. We got eliminated yesterday. Very convincingly.
They have to play better than the last game that they played, right? Just say, if you got to win, you got to pick of it. All right, 1-0 for Simon. Sam starts.
Sam starts once again on... No, never mind. 6 cards. Okay, the 6th one appeared.
7.
7.
Full hand.
Okay, I guess I didn't
We
know
see-
why...
No, they are removing now.
All right, all right, all right.
Hierarch, Halfling.
Are they both on Hierarch? I'm surprised.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good card. Both of them play
Apparently
fine.
it is.
Yeah.
It's just numbers. You need one more mana dork. You want the
Yeah.
stability. Frank Carson numbers.
Yeah, I guess I was playing Boya Grazer, so it was a different list.
Did you consider Hierarch?
No.
What made you play Grazer?
My teammates had Grazers. so I
And you were
said,
jealous. You wanted also
Nah.
From how early on did your team know that we are going to play Nadu this
Well, so
weekend?
there was a lot of people in the team that were locked on Nadu when they arrived, and they were mostly dedicating in testing it. One of the people who helped a lot, the Nadu testing, actually won the Open. So the Modern Open, the 75K, was won by Arch, a friend of ours from the UK, and he was definitely one of the people that was on Nadu for a while. And I got on the Nadu train late. I was mostly testing Mono Black Necro, and then the Nadu deck seemed like a very hard matchup, and I decided to just join it.
And are you surprised on how the weekend turned out? Like, you knew that Nadu was going to be good, but...
I am surprised, yeah. I knew that it was a good deck, but I didn't expect, 25% with a 59% win rate.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
So to put this into perspective, they have calculated all the numbers, the decks playing against the matchup analysis. Nadu's only bad matchup, was 47%.
Whoa.
All the other ones were above 50, and that was Jeskai Wizards. So every other deck, Nadu in the whole Pro Tour was favored, and that is just incredible.
And just get Wizard, a deck that got 33% win rate.
Yeah, so
probably only beat Nadu in the...
Imagine playing a deck at the Pro Tour that doesn't have literally any bad matchups that matter. Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, we see here everyone on the Nadu train with some different decks, though. I always think it's interesting to see what different teams come up with. And what's happening now, Mango?
What's happening? What's happening that Sam had nothing going on, just a Shuko, and then he surveilled and he left the card on top. So I thought he was a Nadu and he would have won. But turns out that he left on top Hayward Might just to disrupt Simon from winning.
Yeah.
So he chose the line to not lose rather than the line to win. Which, not saying he was a a bad player or anything.
It's probably what you have to accept because you're choosing a random card over that might. So it's not that likely that you find anything that gets you either a Nadu or like something that is super relevant. And so you say, okay, at least I prevent from Simon from winning next turn, which is effectively drawing another card because then you end up in the same situation.
There was this super cool play now that maybe doesn't get like Sam played a Shuko post combat. That's not something you do. Why did he do that? Because he wanted to make Simon sacrifice the AOR might on the Shuko. Okay? But Simon didn't do it. So that he could free like a top decked Urza Saga. But Simon didn't do it. So he lost a life basically.
For the gambling of...
For the gambling of Simon sacrificing the AOR might.
Which is fine, again, because the people know life or damage in that sense doesn't really matter. It won't happen in a realistic time frame that you're winning over damage. Your creatures and decks aren't built for it.
So earlier we saw Simon bestowing the Nantuko. Now we see him instead casting the Nantuko. The difference is that Sam, again, we're playing game 1, doesn't have any removal spell, and it's much better to have a creature on board to be able to Court of Calling for 1 extra.
Yeah, that little things you do because you know the matchup.
Exactly. I mean, these are a lot of lines. Once again, we've been talking about the testing teams, how important they are. But the truth is that if you just have one person testing, they could never go through all these lines and these scenarios. But if you have multiple people, and then they can grab the conclusions, it really helps out.
Imagine you have a haystack and you look for a needle. What is easier, looking for yourself or having 20 people who help you?
That's true. I love that we are seeing so many different teams and doing so well here at the Pro Tours.
So this game, actually, it's game 1, which is supposed to be the super quick one. Whoever combos first wins because there's no interaction. Well, actually, both players have access to AOR Might and Boseiju in this game. So it's slowing down a lot.
And both players didn't really have a chance to get to Nadu right now, right? Sam could, but doesn't have Nadu, and Simon had to fight, well, the mana troubles because of the Urza Saga getting destroyed and not really having a mana elf. In that case, Simon right now looks like in prime position because he has all the pieces, but still first needs to get there, which is now, because there's a chord, and...
Yeah, so he could chord, but he doesn't have a Shuko in play. Like, once again, the game is going to continue. It's not over just yet.
And there's actually nothing that targets.
Yeah.
The Nantuko doesn't target... Oh, there's a Nadu in hand.
Yeah, that's not in hand, but if he plays Nadu, he doesn't have 6 for the Outrider.
So it's 1 mana off.
Okay, draws Halfling. So Sam piece of interaction is Boseiju, which isn't good enough to stop.
Not if you go for the creatures.
Core.
Yes.
You can Boseiju the Nantuko because it's an enchantment, but with this many creatures, it's very likely to win regardless, Simon.
It's what you have to do. This is okay. This is the best we can do, and then obviously you know you're kind of screwed, but...
Yeah, back in the coverage days, we had the advantage bar.
Right.
So if I had the advantage bar right now, I put it towards Simon.
Which then would be a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean...
Birthday present?
It would be a birthday present indeed.
And a revenge for Team Handshake over Team Channel Fireball.
Both players...
Do you keep track? Is there like a spreadsheet?
It's what it is. Well, last PT we had 2 Japanese players in the final, so no.
Did anyone in your team bring a different deck, or they all decided to go with Nadu?
Yeah, we had some people going rogue and playing their own deck. One of the person that went rogue actually beat me in the PTQ in round 4. He was playing Boros Energy featuring 4 main deck Blood Moon, which is a card that very good right now in Modern, Blood Moon.
There's the Outrider. That is end of turn. If it's end of turn, you just have to untap. Getting rid of one of the Shukos. Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. There must be, because it's Simon Nielson. But so far, I didn't get it.
Does anyone know what the reason is? Maybe anyone catched it?
Life gain?
Like, you're still at 4. And now you're presenting, well, 1-1.
Oh, somebody knows. He was on 2 live.
But now he's at 4, so it wouldn't have killed him, right?
Yeah, but he drew Boseiju. Anyway.
It doesn't matter.
There's Nadu. Samperdi responds with a Boseiju on Nantuko. Simon Go gets the Dryad. He has 12 triggers. It's, I mean, again.
At this point, what can you do?
Yeah, we are on these not 100% death, so we are in the final of the Pro Tour. We're actually continuing the game.
So I know that from Team Channel Fireball, which Sam is a part of, they didn't play all that Nadu deck. We know that, well, the Hall of Famers, the big people, Luis, Finkel, and Kai played Ruby Storm to
Simon taking it down. Now, this is very important. Now, Simon has 2 game wins. We have more games to play. Now they are going to be sideboarded. What can we expect after sideboards here from our players? Now, Simon only needs 1 more win to be our winner here this weekend for the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I was sideboarding with my Nadu deck was to bring in the interactions, which in Semper's sideboard are to dismember. There's no copies of Force of Vigor in this list, whereas Simon has 1.
Yeah, we have a Force of Vigor, 1 Dismember, and 1 Storm Drake.
This list has a Skyclave Operation, which is another interaction.
Yeah, you
definitely bring it in.
You will get that just in order to court for removing one of the things, or to draw it. It's not the easiest thing to cast.
I would say the bad cards from Semper's side are the 2 Teferis and the 1 Endurance.
Yeah, Sun Cleanser probably also isn't relevant.
Sun Cleanser, very important against the Galvanic discharge decks, but not here.
Look how happy Simon is. I mean, this is going to be a very important game. Sam, for sure, is thinking, I have to do a lot of work. I have to win 3 post-sided board games in a row to be able to win these finals.
Do you know who did this today? So Simon was actually down 2 games against Javier.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
And all the post-sideboard games were in Simon's favor, as he is now in the finals. So it is possible. It's not likely, but once in a while somebody does it, so why not now? And you have to keep fighting. You have to go on, say do your best. You want to give out the last?
Now, I just wanted to show that we don't have too much left, but there's some. Who wanted the bag?
No, she said in the beginning. Yeah.
Actually, a person claimed it first, so this is watch out. So often these go off.
We still have some left, Thoralf.
Make sure
we have
how many?
7 boosters and the Cloedo edition. You want to give them now, just to get it out of the way?
I think we should wait until the end,
yeah, that's true.
to celebrate
I would
together.
have given it now, but they say no, so.
I will give more, there's...
In the end, we'll give them all to celebrate together, because this might be the last game. It might not be, we don't know. A lot of things can happen.
Play Magic with a killer twist.
And remember, being on the play is huge. Now Sam was on the play, although he never
stole
really
one
found,
on. Sorry.
Sam never really found Nadu the whole game.
Stealing 1 on the play is huge. Like you got 2-0. If you just get 1 more, I mean, that's the. So Simon, I don't think it's like a progressive ladder, but he got closer and closer like with each step, losing the finals last time. So now he is 2-0 in the finals.
Yeah, he lost in the top 4 at Worlds with the Soldier decks.
Right.
Lost in the finals in Chicago with the Boros Prowess deck.
I think the first time he lost in the quarterfinals, so like he got there inches by inches.
Yeah.
If he loses now, he knows the next one is gonna do it. Like.
Yeah. And Thoralf, what was your first reaction when you saw Nadu for the first time? Like before everyone started, did you immediately realize this card is going to be busted?
Oh yeah, it's a messed up card. I mean, not only from the phrasing, you have the line only twice each turn. And you have literally the whole of Magic to put it on. Why there? I don't know. I can't tell you. There are many works behind the scenes. It's a mystery. Maybe one time it will be revealed. But it was obvious because of Legacy, people know targeting creatures is quite trivial. You have the equipment. You have many other creatures who do that. And the lands come into play untapped.
Yeah.
It screams at you that you have to do it. It has 4 toughness. All of this card says, use me.
I remember when I saw this card for the first time ever. I was streaming, and with my Twitch chat, we were discussing the card, and I was like, oh wow, this card reminds me of Cephalic Illusionist, which is, the combo in Legacy. And I was like, let me check if Nomad's Encore is legally modern, which is the 1-mana 1/1 that there's the same ability of the Encore, and I found out that there's the 3-mana, the one that it's Flare right now. So I was like, oh, this is simple, and obviously a Shuko, which
Right.
It's another one.
Yeah.
So this deck was very quickly found out, I would say. At the very beginning, people just started winning on Magic Online with this deck. And obviously now we have the perfected list. Again, I was playing a Boar Grazer. Many people were playing maybe the One Ring in the main. Some people were playing the Black Splash. And I think now we are kind of, this reminds me of the Eldrazi PT, the Oath of Gatewatch PT, where there's like a clear best deck, and the metagame will ship up around it for a few weeks, months, depending on how long Modern will look like this. And but this is definitely going to be the best deck for the Pro Tour. And when people in the future will, people still today say the Cobblade, that's like the best deck ever. People will have to say Nadu, because even the Hogak PT, Hogak didn't actually do so well. It did well. It had like a 54%, but in the top 8 that you won, there were only one, and he lost in the top 8.
Yeah.
So, this is the Nadu PT. This will remain as the best deck.
Yeah.
I think.
It has resemblance to the Oko PT, I think.
Oh yeah, the Queen Standard, and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that hand.
In Modern, though, I feel like this happens much less often in Modern than in Standard.
Yeah.
This
And
hand
they also had
determines...
Rakdos in Minneapolis was super dominant. I feel like in Standard tends to happen more than Modern. Last Modern PT was much
Imagine you're
diverse.
down 2 games and then you have to decide a mulligan. It's like, would you go? It has lands and spells.
Lands
what
and
can I
spells.
do?
Yeah.
No, this deck actually has to mulligan. It ends with 3 lands, 4 spells.
Here we go.
It's bad.
Game number 3.
No, it looks... Oh, yeah. There it is. Sylvan Safekeeper. Both the players have the old border ones, which is very cool to see.
Do you think Ola just has a stack of them and just goes around for everybody?
I doubt. But I did play with the new border one. I definitely am ashamed of that. Yeah, I know. I know.
I still remember the first time I saw Nadu. It was my pre-release because I didn't really pay attention to previews. And somebody's like, oh yeah, this card is busted. And I'm like, it can only happen twice, right? And they were like, no, twice for each
Yeah,
creature.
this also, it took a while and also some comprehension until people tell you, like, this is not twice a turn.
Yeah, this is twice for each creature.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. And Simon?
All right, so Sam doesn't have the combo, but he does it once again, a way to disrupt Simon's start. It's by going basically sinkhole right now, 2 mana destroy your land.
Yeah. It's also, notice Seminus Pact does get a creature, but it only gets a green creature. So that means it can't get the Outrider because Nadu is already in hand.
Yeah, so Simon made a play, which is Saga Might, which he wouldn't be able to do if Sam had Force of Vigor in his deck, because that's just too extreme to expose yourself to such a powerful exchange on turn 1. So I feel like, not registering any copy of Force of Vigor led to that turn 1. Let's see, Simon drew immediately another Saga, so we can just play that again.
Sam has the Nantuku, a fetch land making 2 tokens, and 2 Court of Callings.
Yeah, he drew a second Court of Calling.
So that is basically the game the turn after.
Yeah, so you can go Nantuko, fetch land.
Nantuko, that's 2 creatures, fetch land.
Everyone is writing the bingo cards.
Yes, that's 5 mana in creatures. Unfortunately, just 1 short from fetching one of those.
Yeah, so if he fetches, it goes up to 4 creatures and 1 land. So, fun enough. Although, it can get maybe something else, but I don't think it's correct to get anything else there.
No, you have to wait. But then next turn, it's also very close, because you do have 4 creatures and 3 permanents, meaning 7. Nadu gets the 8. So if you draw any land, you can get the combo. Any land wins right on the spot.
Then let's see if that's going to be a land.
5. Yeah, 5. Yeah, that's true. You're right. And Simon, does he have any interaction in hand? Nope.
Even a tapped land
Just only in combo
makes
for
1
Simon.
mana because of the token.
Yeah, so Simon is basically just waiting to untap.
You
hoping
can,
to untap.
I mean, you're basically locked also because if you just get Nadu, you hand Safekeeper some away to get 1 more extra land. Like, you're almost locked because you can throw away your lands. It doesn't matter as long as you get 1 more mana creating thing.
Yeah, so Simon has Aware Might active with that Wall of Roots, but we know that Sam is going to go with the Outriders and Core.
And how important is Court of Calling in this deck? How early on were you like, we're going to play Court of Calling?
It's what holds it all
I'm
together.
curious, how many do they play? Because I was playing only 3.
Okay, let's see. So
So,
Sam plays 4. Simon plays 4.
Okay.
so there is a way maybe to reduce it. Ah, that's a land. Okay, I was thinking maybe Hailmare might
Oh, no, it's
steal a
not,
land.
but it's a land that doesn't add mana, interestingly. Because Simon can kill it with the booty on the stack.
But it makes a token. That's enough. The token already is enough.
Is it 5 plus 3? Yes, it's enough. Because it's going to be able to chord for 3 tap. Is it?
Yeah, you make a token, you court for 3, get a Nadu, court for... Oh no, that's way too...
I don't think so. I don't think he has enough.
No, he misses 3 mana, I was miscounting.
Yeah. I don't think he has enough.
So now is the question, if you court now, do you go for it with... Oh, he allowed the mana. Do you go for it with the Sylvan Safekeeper? Because I think you just go for it.
I don't know, because he has chord for Scattering Evaporation, chord for Volatile Storm Drake. Like,
no, yeah, but any land...
I swear, every time I was going off with Sylvan Safekeeper, I was just Armageddoning myself.
But any land gives you 2 mana, right?
But like, if you don't find Shuko, you just...
Yes, go for it.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Chord for 3. And by the way, Sam is a creature combo player at
Yes,
heart. I
yes.
don't think we've mentioned it yet, but Sam pretty top 8 Pro Tours with Melira Pod, played Samwise Gamgee last PT. It's just whenever there's a combo creature deck, he's around. You know, first thing I said on Thursday during the Pro Tour party, I said, have you tried any Abzan Soul Trader deck? That's a 3/3, sacrifice a creature, make a treasure.
Yes.
That's a typical Semper D deck. He said he did, but at the end, Nadu was just better.
Just a better deck.
Did Sam won any Pro Tour, or if this would be the first one?
So
I think he won an online championship, like a players tour.
Yeah, I definitely remember him being in the PT finals, I believe in Hour of Devastation with Golgari Delirium.
Oh, the Shuko, hello.
Wait, where did that come from?
Well, he drew it from a trigger.
From a trigger of what? Oh, Sylvan Safekeep? Oh, he drew it for turn, I think.
Yeah, he drew it for the turn.
Okay, so we still have 1 trigger here.
Also, very important at this point, Shuko needs to use the ability. So you don't want to play it before, because then you can't activate one of the triggers from Nadu, because they will respond to the Court of Calling. If you play it after, it resolves, you get priority, have the first activated ability, get the trigger, even though it dies, you have 1 more.
It's going off with Sylvan Safekeeper, like you mentioned.
Go.
So he already had made a land drop, so his end is... Is that Summoner's Pact?
Summoner's Pact, Wall of Roots, Court of Calling. Is that good enough?
What would be the advantage bar right now?
Well,
yeah, that is for Sam.
Sam, this is kind of a mean thing. You have to calculate what is my chance right now. And I think his chance is about 60%, 50-60%. But is that lower than just passing the turn? Because if he hits a land with Nadu, then he gets 2 more creatures. And he only has to get up to 6 mana creatures in total to get the core Outrider or find another Shuko.
Yeah, on screen we see the new border Sylvan Safekeeper.
All right, 2 mana.
Judgment, watermark. Okay.
That looks like he decided, I'll be fine with a Wall of Roots.
Man,
if you play a Wall of Roots now...
No, yeah, I like this. Like, I think once you start, you have to keep going. Although I don't even know where he's going right now.
Well, hopefully at home. All right.
Okay.
That doesn't do anything.
No, it's good actually, it is.
No.
Yeah, you can play the Spring... Is that a Spring Heart on Tuco?
Yes,
He has 1 mana floating.
But it downs you on mana. Like,
yeah, he has 1 mana floating, so you can tap 2 mana, play it, and then suck the last 2 lands. And then if you find lands, you can like make tokens, and then you can chord for the Outrider. That's a line. I mean, maybe it's not the one that Sammy's taken, but it's a possible line.
And again, like this deck having so many options.
Just imagine You have to win all your games. You have to win this game, and you have to make estimated guesses.
He's casting the thing. I
All
wonder
right.
if he has some mana left. I don't think he does.
He already played Osasaga for this turn, so that means
that's perfect. Yeah, that's
this
more
needs to
mana.
be a land.
So he has to
Okay.
play land.
It's
It's a land.
But I don't think it's enough.
No, it gets him going. It's the same over.
Yeah, he has to get a bunch of lands.
He needs to get another land, then he's good. Because then he can court for 3.
Oh, if he leaves on top, it's a land.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
Done. It's done. With another land here. Yeah.
And that's through. Okay,
That's
wow.
It. That's it. He has a cord in hand. He's going to be able to cord for
And now
a
you
rider
will
and core. Now we
also see he moves up the pace because he knows he's through, yes.
Yeah.
There's his cord.
Yeah.
And Simon knows it. Maybe he boarded out the core outrider. It's not going to happen, but, show me.
Yeah, that is going to be it.
And there, you see again, can I have a look at your sideboard?
Yes,
because
this is important because you reveal your opponent in your deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nadu doesn't hold on information. You reveal the card. If it's a land, you put it into play. If not, you get to your hand. You go through the moves, the whole deck multiple times. You see it anyway. They shortcutting and saying, okay, sideboard is open information. That's why if you mind slaver somebody, you can look at their sideboard because that's the decision they can make. And now they say, okay, look at my sideboard.
I think let's hear it here for Sam for taking a win now and making us have more games to watch, which is always nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Sam.
Yeah, this game was actually close. Like Sam didn't have all the pieces. He had to work his way through. And then he found a second Spring Hardened Tuco into a couple of lands in a row to get those 6 creatures into play to convoke.
Very interesting game. Now, do they change sideboards depending on who's on the play, on the draw, or it doesn't matter?
So the only reason I saw was if you have a Gemstone Cavern in your sideboard, you would put that in when you're on the draw. Daniel had that. None of those people have that. So I would assume there's just no changes. You will do I shuffle my sideboard in, or maybe trade 1 or 2 cards, but leave it as it is. But in the end,
It doesn't even matter.
there's no advantage. I don't think there's a card. Sometimes you have the situation a card is much better on the draw, or you want to make your deck a bit slower because you're not comboing off because you're on the draw, so you board in more removal spells. But let's be honest, they'll board in all the removal spells. They will board in all the good cards anyway.
Now, Simon is on the play, and this game is very important for him because if he wins it, the game is done, right?
Yes, he has 2 more chances on the play, which is huge. You can't.
But again, we talked about that game. It was Javi, right?
Yeah, he was down 0-2, and then he won 3 in a row. One of them is down.
I mean, it can happen.
I don't want to draw historic conclusions, but yesterday we had the content creator clash where we lost the first 3 rounds.
That's true.
Then won the last 2.
That was so much fun.
Content creator clash.
So we played a game where you have to guess Magic questions and you get points. It was 5 rounds, but in the end you got more points, double and 3 times.
What were the teams?
I can make you for. One team was Thoralf, the other one was MTG Nerd Girl.
Yes, and I had May, the cosplayer. We had Tappy Toe, for the also cosplayer / commander creator. We had Tomer from Goldfish and Medicast from League of Legends.
Yeah, it was really nice, and some questions were really fun. I can make you one, for example.
Yeah.
So, Mango.
Yes.
Imagine that Magic the Gathering makes a car share or a vehicle sharing app, like
Uber.
Exactly, of Magic. What vehicle would they pick you in?
Me?
Yeah, name a card,
So they ask Magic players, what vehicle would you get picked up on?
Okay.
What's the first one that comes to mind?
So I have to think about a vehicle car that I like.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, what vehicle would you drive in?
Man, I don't know. I
What
feel like
vehicle would you be driving?
Okay, what would you drive in?
Smuggler's Copter.
Yes, there you go. Second best answer. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
That's the first best answer.
Is Sika's Chariot?
I think so.
Is Sika's Chariot?
It was there for sure. I don't know if it was first. But another one, for example, is what plane in the Magic the Gathering universe would you like to have your honeymoon at?
Man. Dominaria.
Ah, very good.
Thank you,
That was
person.
there.
That's
Yeah.
the crowd.
I mean, for me, it had to be Eldraine, right?
Yeah.
The fairy tales.
Yeah, we also, the very last one that Wizards then said correctly was Innistrad, where actually was a wedding,
That's
which
true.
we didn't get.
And there was a wedding announcement.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, but Dominaria is the equivalent of staying home for your wedding. Just you go to the beach in Senegal, yeah.
Nice, best place.
All right.
I can't wait to go. Anyway, Simon is on the play. He's looking at his hand. I think I saw 3 lands and 4 spells, so he's gonna keep it probably.
It doesn't matter which spell. It's just
good old.
Imagine you have like 3 lands and 4 Shuko. You just go.
Yeah, I mean, I remember keeping a hand of Grazer to Shuko Nadu.
Yes.
And then my opponent thought he's my Nadu, and my next draw were 2 Shukos.
Oh.
So on turn 3,
Did you attack?
I had a Grazer 3/3 attacking.
Oh.
I didn't win that game.
Oh, but did you make a photo? That's a good screenshot.
No, it was just.
All right, look at the
my
hands.
fate.
Okay, this might be the last game. It might not, but
Is there
let's
one
take
drop?
a look.
Yes, Delighted Halfling, Shuko, and Nadu. All right, Simon,
Once
we
again,
see
same start as the previous game for Simon.
we see your strategy.
That's not true anyway.
Sam has Safekeeper, Summoning Pact, Nantuko, Nadu.
Every time I do this watch party thing, I'm reminded that I should change my
Prescription,
glasses.
yeah.
Because you can't.
I just cannot read it, but like, you know,
I mean, to
for
be
3
fair-
months, it's fine, and then I come here, I have to look at these names from here. and
They're very
In,
scrizzled.
in our screen, it is blurry. I don't know if in
No,
theirs
no,
is,
no,
but
it's just, it doesn't matter, I still. But I can see the cards. I can see a Sylvan Keeper once again on the play. Although Waterlogged Grove means that Sam mana base is a little bit shaky, must mean that he doesn't have any green untapped mana producer.
Yeah, but in the end, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, to what life does not matter.
Yeah.
I highly doubt the mirror match comes down to beat down. Well, we saw, I think it was the first or the second game where Simon went down to 4 life, but
So this is
win
interesting.
the game.
Instead of playing a Delighted Halfling, he played the Saga on 1 and not the Halfling.
yeah.
why do you think he's dead?
That is mainly important because A, you can play the Halfling now, and it doesn't matter for turn 2 that you play Nadu because you won't. It's just the same if you do it after. And you want the protection from double Shuko because the Saga will get to fetch that.
Yeah.
It has the downside of maybe your Saga gets mited right now, but then you still end up with 3 mana on turn 2 because you were under play. Broken.
Yeah, once again, being open deck list lets you play around, or in this case, not play around Force of Vigor. Because if you're playing the Modern Open on Friday or on Saturday, I'm sure that Simon wouldn't have gone Urza Saga Shuko with that hand. Because he would play around Force of Vigor.
True.
Whereas here, he doesn't have to.
Is there Dismember? There is a Dismember in the 75, but Sam really needs a very specific answer.
Yeah, Dismember takes down.
Oh, from
the Sylvan
Simon
Keeper.
even. Oh. Is this just it? No, there's also... Both of them drew a Dismember for their first draw step.
Oh, they have 1?
Yeah, they both have 1 and they both drew it.
I mean, if it's in the deck, it's for that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
That is
that's why they
so crazy.
Okay, so Simon is gonna go get a card. Maybe it's not gonna be a second Shuko. Maybe it's gonna be a Awar Might.
Awar Might?
Or maybe it's even a Safekeeper. Since it's not.
You would instantly get a Safekeeper. That would be like the win, but okay, this is Might.
They should have made Saga fetching up a...
Imagine you're Simon. Imagine you know you won the game if your opponent doesn't have the one single sideboard card.
Well, but doesn't Simon have a Summoner's Pact in his hand?
Yeah, but you can't cast it now.
No, I'm sitting next turn and he can go off again.
So he gets the Might because it's an additional creature, right? You could get Shoku to be safe, but there's nothing. He can't use Beseiju, it's only 1 mana. So he says, okay, once I have Nadu in play and it will survive, then we can have additional creature for a trigger. And he gets to have 2 triggers as well because he plays Nadu, and then the first thing he immediately does is equipping. That will get triggered from the Shuko once, and then from the Dismember again.
And also, Dismember will let you trigger Nadu, so you're still like a 2-for-1-ing.
Right.
Because they don't play the French technology that was Rana Fool, which is the 1 mana green, instant speed, sacrifice a flying creature, which is a command from, I think, M19 or something like that only the French came up with. And this is very cool at the Pro Tour. Sometimes you find this, like, maybe other people did, so I don't want to say that, but it's definitely a very cool card, and maybe we'll see a lot of play in the future of these Nadu mirror matches. Because, you know, triggering triggering Nadu now with the dismember definitely makes
a difference, yeah.
Yeah, it's like everything
Right.
makes a difference. It's like an extra card.
Could be a land that you need for the pack next turn. That's Nadu.
Yeah.
So Thoralf, if I made you put an advantage bar right now,
Simon it's miles ahead. Like
how many miles?
100.
No, I wouldn't say it's that far ahead.
Wait, he wins this turn.
I know, but like we have to make it.
No, it's even.
It's even, right?
You
Yeah.
don't have to leave. But you have to.
No, because we
No,
still
no,
have the boosters. That's why we didn't give them away.
There is still a chance for Sam, don't get me wrong. Like,
Just a slight chance.
unlikely things that have happened. All right, so that's one. That's two. It's another Nadu.
Okay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, because actually there's two triggers that Simon gained here. Because Nadu comes into play, Simon equips Shuko, triggers on the stack, dismember on Nadu, trigger on the stack. So
Yep.
it's twice.
So now,
So this dismember was a 3-for-1.
and now Simon knows
crazy.
the one dismember's out.
How many miles ahead? Does Sam have any answer in his hand?
No, there's just nothing. And he knows it. Look, he knows.
We want to start giving out this pack?
No, let's finish at least the formality, you know?
You never know. It's not over until it's over. I
Simon
always
tried
heard.
6 times in the last 2 years, which is outstanding, but get him win and look him.
By the way, if Simon does win, we have to give him the happy birthday again.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can do a video showing the backstage.
Oh yeah, that would be so cool. Preparing, but not likely at all. The advantage bar is not that high.
Okay, yes, that's
Okay,
Nadu.
Nadu.
I mean, you're just saying okay.
Simon's so excited right now.
He doesn't look excited, I have to say.
You must be nervous.
Nah,
like-
I mean, in his mind, it's already celebrating.
I think at this point you're always like, okay, I got it. Let me just not do a stupid mistake right now. Let me just get my. I can do this. I
That's
can
actually
get my
what you have
lands.
to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens to me too. You're like, your brain is telling you won, and you have to just.
You're like, okay, I
haven't
can
won
do
yet.
this. I can play magic.
End of turn, summon is packed. It's just like- I'm not even sure there's a possible order of his deck that could lose him the game, like realistically.
Nah, there must be.
He has 6 triggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 6 spells on top of the deck.
It's like he even
Which
has
spells? Yeah, right. Yeah.
like it needs
guess
to be
8.
all Shukus and
8. Those Dread Arbor.
yeah, all Shukus and all chords, and then even then you're dealing in winning the lottery.
Yeah, I mean,
8 days in a row.
The player on the play just has such a big edge, and Simon stealing game 2 was kind of like, it's when things went his way. I think starting to go his way. All right.
Even with the Surveil,
Here we go.
that's a Shuko. Well, that's one of the blanks.
Yeah, you remove the blank from his deck.
No, but it's like if it's a land. All right. It is. Get out the piece of paper one last time. 1, Saga.
A piece of paper.
Oh.
That's 0 to piece of paper, which I hope to never see anymore on the magic area.
Packed.
All right. That's now.
Santuko. Show
Might
me
be
the
it.
winning smile. Not yet, I don't need it.
Okay.
Another Nantuko. Sam knows it, he smiles. Finally, after so many attempts.
At the first land.
Yeah, oh, it's even a
That's
fetch
it.
land. After so many attempts, quarterfinal, semifinal,
Honestly,
final.
I wouldn't be. Like, Sam has the chance of just leaving the table and let Simon win the game.
Yeah.
And then just returning in 10 minutes.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah. This is, he has the right to do.
Actually, I never asked.
Do you remember?
How does the loop work?
There it is.
Whoa! Whoa! The birthday boy gets it.
There's Chris Larson, longtime friend, Danish.
Also able to throw Simon.
One person in the universe.
Yeah, not that many people were able to. Would be
Simon was supposed to be here with us today,
Yes.
by the way.
Well,
but I think he's much happier doing these, right?
He's in our hearts here with us.
We have to give some boosters away, and I think
Yes,
we also
let's
should
do
do
it.
like, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Maybe you can hear.
Happy birthday, dear Simon. Happy birthday, Nadu. Yeah, everyone. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
In the back.
I have one last box to give away. The first person who comes and tells me the creature that has a 6/9 power toughness.
Yes.
6/9 gets that back. I don't care how you find that out. If you're the first person here, no.
All right, let's do it.
If you come here, no. 6/9, please. What Tamugov? I don't care if you find that out. If you ask your grandmother. No. Ah, who said that? Are you here? Hey! There you go.
Thank you so much.
It was Goliath.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed MagicCon Amsterdam.
Thank you. Thank Filipa for being the best host possible.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Mango. Thank you, Thoralf.
Have a great evening.
We'll be back at the next MagicCon.
Can we do
Have a good, what's that, bow?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's no a second match to show.
Encore.
Sure. I'll remove my stuff.
Congratulations once again to Simon Nielson. But very, very quickly, I do want to offer congratulations and commiserations to our very, very worthy runner-up, Sam Pardee. He played his guts out across the top 8. Unfortunately vanquished at the final hurdle for him. But this isn't the last we've heard of Sam Pardee. He has been another very consistent, very dominant player. And look, he thoroughly deserves every accolade and every compliment that's handed to him this weekend. He's played a blinder. Sadly didn't get all the way there, but lost to an extremely worthy foe in Simon Nielson, our Pro Tour champion. We're going to throw things back over the desk. Before we do that, I want to thank you, Marnie, for being part of the broadcast this week, and thank you for all your expertise and your support across the weekend, and you, the viewer, around the world as well, for contributing to the success of this broadcast. Thank you for being here. That's it from us. It's back over to Maria and the team at the news desk to round out and crown our Pro Tour champion.
What an incredible final. Congratulations to Simon Nielson on his Pro Tour victory. Frank, I've got to ask for your reaction after that. What an incredible entire tournament Simon has had. Not only this tournament, but indeed the season. Not only this season, but the year before this. And now capping it off, and maybe he's not done yet, with this Pro Tour victory. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely, Maria. Out of the last 6 events, Simon Nielson made the top 8 of 5 of them, which is already completely ridiculous. But the trophy always was out of his reach. He was second earlier this year, almost there. And now finally, we can not only call him our reigning player of the year, but also a Pro Tour champion. And
Speaking of Player of the Year,
Yeah.
Frank, we've been watching the Player of the Year race at the Pro Tour this year. We've got some updates for you. Your reigning Player of the Year, Simon Nielson, is in the lead again, Frank.
completely incredible. So the Player of the Year race rewards players for their match points at the 3 Pro Tours this season, and then World Championship 30, which is still to come at MagicCon Vegas in late November. And at the moment, indeed, Simon Nielson, our reigning Player of the Year, is just having a substantial lead. He had an incredible season. Second place at Pro Tour Murders at Karlov Manor, then top 32 at the Pro Tour Thunder Junction, and now first place at Pro Tour Modern Horizon 3. This is a season for the ages, but indeed, the World Championship is still to come. It is not decided yet, because a lot of incredible players are right on his heels. Jason Yee we saw, right? Top 16, top 8, top 8. Seth Manfield, first place, another top 8. Javier Dominguez, 9th, 10th, top 8. And Sam Pardee, who played his heart out in this finals.
Absolutely.
I loved how he tried to combo off with the Sylvan Safekeeper one game. He really did his best with the interaction he had, but there's just no stopping Simon Nielson.
Absolutely, there is not. And like I mentioned, he might not be done yet. Here with the trophy presentation is Ailey Loney.
Thank you so much, Maria. Simon Nielson, finally, I can say, Pro Tour champion. What is going on through your head right now?
I don't know, it's just like amazing to go through all of this. I felt like the narrative is just like works out so perfectly with the like, you know, top 8, top 4, top 3, top 2, and now finally this. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this deck is just crazy stupid, and I'm glad I got to play it before it's gone, because it's gonna be gone. Do not invest. Oh, right, no, invest in all my Shugos.
He'll sign them for you too, yeah. Simon, I have to ask you, how much of your success over the last couple of years would you attribute to the wonderful players and team around you here?
Like, all of it. Like, I mean, it's just, I feel like my biggest strength as a player is that, like, I'm like a sponge that like absorbs information, and I need to have the good information, and these guys are just so helpful and incredible to like be around and learn from, and I love it. I love you all. It's just been wonderful, and seeing our success, like also just like as a group cheering each other on, and yeah, building this you know, this machine.
It's a machine indeed, and now I have to ask you, Simon. In Magic, we talk about inevitability. And given your success, your string of top 8s, everything that you have accomplished over the last 2 years, it's inevitable that this moment was coming. But what's next?
I really want my own card, right?
All right, Simon, before I hand this trophy over to you, I need to ask, is there anything you would like to say to your family, your friends, your fans, anything at all?
Yeah, so speaking of that narrative, some of you might wonder why wasn't it 5 in a row? The reason is that Seattle wasn't a Magic Con, so there wasn't so many people here, and I just want to say thank you to all of you who came out here, who are watching on a big screen, like playing like all your games here, enjoying this incredible hobby. Thank you all for being part of this.
Here, here. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Simon, I know it's your birthday, so I got you a little something. This is yours. Let's give it up for our Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3 champion, Simon Nielson!
Congratulations to your Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3 champion, Simon Nielson. What an incredible season. Well, this weekend was special in so many ways. As the 10th Modern Pro Tour ever, it had a lot to live up to in its format's storied history. And live up to it did, as Modern Horizons proved its place by flipping the script on the format almost entirely. 243 players showed up to throw down on Friday, each with hope in their hearts for victory. But for some, that hope had wings, as Nadu Winged Wisdom soared to the top of the standings and made every player who registered it feel very wise indeed. After an explosive and surprising 6 rounds of draft and 10 rounds of what felt like a brand new Modern, 8 players remained standing, ready to vie for victory. But in the end, it was Simon Nielson who claimed the trophy and the title, whose name is now cemented in Magic history, right alongside their fine feathered friend. You know, it's not only Kai Budde who doesn't lose on Sundays. It's also all of us, as long as we have a deck, a battlefield, and of course, the gathering. Be there for the thrilling conclusion of this year's competitive season at MagicCon Vegas, where we'll crown a new world champion, as well as our Kai Budde Player of the Year. See you then, friends!